Hello, ladies and gents. Well, first thing I'm going to say, welcome back. Of course, thank you for joining, and it's been a little while, my friends. But the first thing I'm already upset about is the fact that the music has changed on StreamYard. I was just about to get all excited about I've missed that music, and it's gone. So I'm going to have to look into that next time we do it. So first things first, let's see what's going on. Let's see who is here. Dan, early gang, what's going on? Paul, what's going on, my friend? Obviously, today's guest is in the chat as well. And that's it so far. You can tell it's been a little while, can't you? So what is going on? How the devil are we? Right, so it's been a little while, but hopefully we're going to be a little bit more, I'm not going to say consistent because that would be a lie. Consistency is very difficult for things like this at the moment. But thank you for those of you that are here for joining. And we have a Q&A today with Serenity Dragons. Let's bring Charles in now. From all the way over in the States, how are you, my friend? And welcome.
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I'm
Thanks
very
for
well.
having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I thought if I'm going to come back to this, we're going to have to start it with a bang, I think, and
bring
better
bring
than
the
yourself.
opinionated Yankin from across the
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, what's going on? Everything all right? Anything going on?
Things going good. Busy with work. And then as far as our projects going on over here, the Accu monitors have been kicking my butt. I can't seem to get the eggs right. Had that first clutch. They all died in the egg, perfectly formed, about 3-4 days before they should have hatched. And second clutch only got one good egg out of it, and this third clutch that she laid, she scattered it everywhere. So, just struggling, man. Just trying to get it figured out.
So far, everything that could have gone wrong has reared its ugly head and gone wrong.
Well, the good news is the one remainder egg from that second clutch is looking wonderful. I mean, absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
So
how long has it been?
They were laid on the 16th of June, so we're approaching the 90-day mark.
Right. Okay. Oh, exciting.
We'll see.
Well, fingers up. Yeah. I know they say don't count your chickens until they've hatched, but we can say the same for Ackies as well.
Right.
Excellent. No, that's cool. So before we get into any questions from either what was sent in or the chat, let me start with a few anyway. So, any new animals, my friend?
The newest animal we got was I ordered a male motley boa that's going to be used in some breeding projects this winter.
Nice.
That was the latest acquisition. In the moment, I am on hold with getting more animals. I am buying more caging. So
okay, all right.
I've got an 8x3 by 2 foot, 2 of those coming.
Nice.
Yeah.
So firstly, before we carry on, what's up, handsome? Hello to you too, Baldy.
Oh, I like taking shots.
So I'm surprised actually that he's even here as Ravishing Reptiles. I'm very surprised he hasn't forgotten his login details, considering it's been so long since he's used that account. But none of my business.
Busy being in Will's videos.
Yeah, exactly. 2 beans in a pot, peas in a pod. Loretta. There you go.
Any new? We did get a Loretta. Hold on.
You did get Loretta. There you go. Oh, are we about to see her? Where is she? There she is. Oh,
there's Loretta. There's a little Dobby dog.
Oh my goodness. And is she still harassing her big brother?
Her and Ted are curled up behind me, sleeping on the floor.
Is she still harassing him, or are they?
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, she was chewing on his knee earlier while we were trying to get everything in here straightened up for the live, and she's just on the floor gnawing on his knee, and I'm like, leave the poor man alone.
And he's just not bothered.
No, not
little dog syndrome is all over there. Yeah. Will just help me film actually. Oh. I'm coming back, baby. Yeah, you've said that before. I'm assuming that's the is that the top fan thing that people new there you go, new pay to win. And also Alex, you actually end up being top fan if you send me loads of money through super chats. That's how you get to number 1. Just letting you know, okay?
Yeah, so pay the man like $1,000.
Yeah. And then
There
you'll
you
be top fan for a long time. But
Get that badge by
yeah.
your name.
So Loretta, you said that that new boa. Anything else, or is that it for the meantime? Obviously, because you're waiting on cages.
About 2
I mean,
months ago, we got another new boa. That was bad.
I was about to say, I think it depends how far back we want to go.
Yeah,
What's new?
I think over the past 3 months, we've acquired 3 new boas, and that's been it for the animals and Loretta.
Yeah. Okay.
Went to a reptile show and came back with a puppy. It's the weirdest lizard I've ever bought. Whoa! I just hit the snot out of my desk with my knee.
That's incredible. Yeah. I think the weirdest one I've done, sort of same but different. I went to an air show and I came back sponsoring a dog.
Okay.
I just because they've always got stalls out, but you'd think military paraphernalia and model aircraft and science areas. And for some reason, as I was walking past, I think it was Dogs Trust or something like that. Yeah, I got collared in and walked away, ending up sponsoring a dog. So I don't know how that happened at an air show, but it is what it is. What's he saying? Is this a... See, all right, it's gone past 5 minutes. Is this a dick riding award? I would pay to not have it next to my name. Okay, fair enough. And the flu. Oh, right. Okay, so you came home with a puppy.
Kayla came back with the flu. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, that's always ideal.
Well, we messed up. See, she came back with the flu, so then she spent like a day and a half in bed with the puppy. So now you can't put Loretta in her kennel at night so we could sleep because she screams all night because she immediately spent 30 some odd hours in the bed. So,
oh God.
Yeah, so we broke the dog day one. I mean, it was special.
Have you tried again, or have you just admitted defeat? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, let's have a look. Any exciting news with your current reptiles? Obviously, I know we've said about Aki eggs. Anything? I know you found a load of gecko eggs the other day as well.
we were doing some much needed maintenance in the gecko room and discovered 33 eggs that we could get amongst the sorted enclosures. So we now have that. Let's see what other stuff we do have. Some newer pairs of geckos that we're waiting to see if they produce. Our first ever lily whites paired up, so that's a morph of crested gecko. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, we're really just kind of in a holding pattern until next month when I can start cooling off the boas and then start pairing those up. So next year we'll have 4 females that we're going to tip to pair. So we'll have to. That's the thing what's got a lot of my focus right now.
Yeah,
making sure that goes well.
Okay. So boas have a cooling off period before a breeding season, do they?
Sort of. You just, they're equatorial, right? So they don't really get a true winter, but in the winter months, it's drier and a slightly cooler. So by cooler, I mean you back their basking spot down from 90 to 84 or 85.
Oh, right.
Like it's not like colubrids where you have to like drop them way down and put them to sleep. And then food does become a little more scarce in the drier period, so you tend to fast them a little bit. And fasting the female boas is what causes their fat to convert to muscle, and they actually use the muscle to raise the babies, internally. So a fat boa is not going to do you a whole lot of good. You want a very muscular boa.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. There you go. Yeah, she won. That's funny. Have you got any pairings next year that you're the most excited for, or?
So we're borrowing my buddy's male. He's a I have to say genes that no one's going to know. So anyway, Arabesque and Motley, which are 2 incomplete dominant genes in boas. And then he is Anery, which is a recessive gene in boas. And then he's Het for a type of albinism called Cal albino. So if I breed him to a girl we've got, which is a morph called a moon glow, it consists of 3 genes, which is hypo, Cal albino, and Anery. So combining those together, we can get some really cool stuff, including Motley, Arabesque, moon glows, which will be really neat looking. And 5 gene boas are really rare, so it's just hard to do. So that one's going to be exciting. And then the new male I bought is going to a female that we've been raising up for almost 5 years now. And they'll make some cool stuff called like phoenixes and El Diablos, which are different mixtures of blood and Central American T-Paz albino. And like I said, unless you understand the genes, none of this makes any sense to anybody.
Yeah. It just sounds cool.
Yeah. So that's it. I put the other female Aki, Saphira, in with Paul. Hi, Paul. So I'm seeing if they'll get along, because Fiona needed a break. She, after those 3 clutches, and he was still trying to breed her 3 days after she laid that clutch. So I was like, yeah, you need to get out of there for a little while.
Yeah.
And I still haven't found. I just haven't pulled the plug. I mean, I still want to get more Gilleneye, man, but God, they're expensive and they're hard to find. And lately, people that have been selling them have only been selling them in like trios, and it's, like $2,500-$3,500 US. I mean, I just haven't been brave enough to pull the plug on that project yet. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, Dan, I named them after Paul and Fiona.
Pembo Exotics, hello, thank you for joining, appreciate you.
Sounds like you too. Yes, Paul, it does.
Fun fact about boa sperms, they can be 2 oh, okay, interesting.
So male boas produce like 60-something% of their sperm at the same time that the females are ovulating and producing their follicles.
Yeah.
So if you have a very avid, ardent breeder male, and you put him in before she's actually ready to receive this package, so to speak, and he goes ahead and starts breeding her, he will actually blow his load and have very low sperm count. And so you wind up with low fertility litters, where you get just like a couple of babies and then everything else is slugs.
So the timing has to be literally.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we have a male, and we think that's what's been going on. We've bred him twice, and I mean, when I tell you that dude gets after it, he gets after it. But I think he's getting after it a little too hard and a little too quick. So I'm gonna have to hold him out until I'm 100% sure that she's actively ovulating, and then
Okay. Cold-blooded Crypt, thank you for joining. Appreciate you.
Oh, that's my boy Scott.
What's going on? So Paul has asked a question. Paul, we will get to that shortly. It's a good question as well, to be fair. Catty, thank you for joining. Paul and Fiona, the Ackies. Sounds like me too. And then, hey, Catty, thanks for joining. Let us know if you have any questions. Excellent. Right. Okay. So before we get to Paul's question, which, like I say, is a very good one, let's get to what projects are you currently working on? So that can be any sort of new enclosures or new species that you want, or basically anything that could be deemed a project.
So revamping the boa room still. So the boas used to be in here. This is my office. It was too small. And then we also discovered that this room and 2 other rooms in the house are all on the same breaker, which is a problem when you're hooking up heat lights. So that all got shifted out into the main front room area, and all the geckos got moved in here. So we're still finishing that revamp. We need the 2 8-foot enclosures. Yeah, Kayla's right in the comments. She said new projects, everything. It's constant. She's not wrong.
True.
I want to redo the older boa enclosures. I want to try to get them closer to naturalistic. I want to try to find some plants that can stand up to a decent sized boa. So far, I failed at that miserably. Let's see. Try to figure out the Aki stuff. We already talked about that. Got a couple of new Garg pairings that I'm hoping will produce and get some more variety when we do the expos. The only other project we've been toying with is, I don't know if everybody in the chat knows this or not, but we did rehome Jojo, our Asian water monitor. He's now with some friends of ours in Louisiana, living outside, getting to play with, not play with, but aired emus across from his enclosure. And he also attempted to stalk a turkey. It was pretty funny. So he's got his 8-foot by 4-foot by 4-foot with that 50-gallon pond in it. So we're considering putting 2 of our smaller boas in there and making that thing like a really big bioactive enclosure with like multi-species, geckos and crickets and dubia and isopods, and then maybe some morning geckos, day geckos, stuff that'll stay up off the ground where the boas won't be as easy to get to it. And we'll see.
So
we'll see if that happens.
Like an ecosystem recreation, basically, like like bioactive to the max.
With like multi-species, and see if we can make something really big and pretty in that space. And then with the 50-gallon pond, I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be my one way to get a couple of fish back in my house.
That's
I got rid of
true.
all my aquariums.
Yeah, and I can also only imagine that Jojo would have been a big fan of live fish.
He never ate them, but the
Did
problem
he
was
not?
I couldn't keep them alive in his pond because he would destroy it.
Right. Okay.
And so he would go in the live pond, destroy the plants, destroy the dirt, knock the filtration loose. Like he was just an absolute terrorist.
Yeah.
So I couldn't keep it stable enough to keep fish alive.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I tried like 3 times and failed every time.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, if it's very much doable now, then yeah, it sounds like a great plan.
No reason to let a 50-gallon pond and a Fluval FX6 go to waste.
Yeah, exactly. Jojo, I'm sure they're loving watching some emus, though. I bet, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like such a cool idea. It does. I do like the idea of that. I've thought of fish in Squid's future pond, but it sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I mean, being a mangrove, they're usually quite. I mean, obviously, I'm sure Paul will get involved as well. But I mean, even Dagger, to be fair, his pond I can empty it completely, spray it clean. Because obviously, the one that is almost plumbed in, that doesn't work anymore. So his other one, I can clean it. I can fill it with fresh water, beautiful, crystal clear, that even I would drink. And it's almost like half an hour later, it's just full of crap again.
Yeah.
It's full of dirt. It's full of leaves. He's probably had a poo in it already. It's like he's waiting. It's crazy. It really is. But I would like to have filtration on it at some point.
You got to do it like Michael Stefani or even like Brad. You got to build it's got to be a big ass water system, and you've got to have enough room in there for the animal to get in, swim around, but not smash everything, not physically smash the fish. Yeah. So like a 50-gallon pond with a 3-foot lizard just isn't big enough.
Brad's paludarium that he's just finishing up now it's a work of art. It really is.
Yeah. But you've seen like Mike Stefani's got his Merton set up with this big swim area that's like 3 feet deep, and he's got a viewing window on it, and that's where Brad got the idea for the viewing window on his.
That's it. So, yeah. That's the way to do it. I mean, I'm looking at the big enclosure now, and obviously it is just Dagger now. But we are potentially, hopefully, trying to move in the next. I don't want to even speak too soon. I was going to say a few months, but we'll see what happens. So obviously that means I'm going to have to build a new big enclosure. So I'm going to rethink the pond idea and everything like that. So because obviously I don't necessarily need a nest box anymore, so I can sort of redesign it and go about it that way. But I would like to have a proper pond in there, to be fair. It's just I'm so stuck for space in this room, like, because obviously the thing is the room was essentially designed around this enclosure, but the problem is I already had loads of enclosures anyway that I was moving in here, so it's not like I could, so it was a bit more difficult. So having like external filtration was just not possible, unfortunately. But
Paul wants us to answer his question before he loses signal.
Right, okay, let's jump into then. Oh, whoopsie. The Q&A section. Let's have a look. Where's his question gone? There it is. Right. Question. If you could start all over again, what would you do the same and what would you do differently?
Well, I thought about that while he was talking. Honestly, I mean, it's not knowing where this was going. Like we didn't expect Serenity Dragons to take off like it has. We didn't expect it to be as successful. We didn't expect to, start doing plants and start doing bioactive substrate and all this other stuff that we've kind of incorporated into what we're doing. And, when we're vending at these shows and, I mean, one of the things that I probably wouldn't have done had we known where everything was going is I sure as heck wouldn't have bought JoJo. I mean, that's just an Asian water monitor is an animal that you need to just have that, or a couple of, they're too demanding. They require too much space. And then after we had that incident where our dogs got poisoned, I was terrified to put him outside. I did have a outdoor enclosure that we were starting to get set up for him, but every time I walked outside and thought about putting him in it, I was like, as soon as I do this, something's gonna happen to him, and then I'm gonna feel really, really bad. But So like I said, now he's out on a friend's farm out in Louisiana in an old crocodile enclosure, and he's living his best life. So, but other than that, I definitely wouldn't have gone as heavy into crested geckos.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gotten into Odatria sooner, and I would have gotten a little more heavily into the boas. I would have skipped over the crested geckos. That's another thing I would do differently.
Yeah. I mean, same but different. I definitely wouldn't have gone so heavy on the Royals. But again, the funny thing is you look at it and it's almost like I had to go through that to shape me into who I am today in the hobby. You know, like part of me is like, oh, if I could go back and say, don't buy 20 Royal Pythons, I would. But then things happened from that have got me to where I am today. Now, you could say if I didn't do that, would I be in a better position? Potentially. Could I be in a worse position? Yeah, quite possibly. So it is a very interesting thought, and it is one that I always think about. Like, not even just with the reptiles, just life in general. You think like, because obviously with this reptile shop that I paid into to become a partner and got horribly scammed out of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Part of me is obviously like, if I could go back in time and say, don't trust these pieces of shit, then I'd save a lot of money. But then at the same time, without that, I don't think Riddler Reptiles would be where it is today. I really don't.
Well, and as you grow and mature, you know, your perspectives on stuff change. So, I mean, you know, if in a perfect world with future sight, somehow knowing what I was going to be doing in 5 years from the day we, you know, got back into the hobby, I would have already tried to figure out a better baby boa racking system where I could get LED lights and all that stuff. And now I'm kind of, all right, well, this is now my next winter project while I, you know, have my boas paired up before next spring when I get babies, see if I can figure something out. But now it's backfilling. So, all right, if I figure it out, where the heck is that going to live? You know, how does that fit into the organization that I've got going on with my enclosures and everything else I've got? And so, you know, if you could plan perfectly for the future, you know, those are the things that you really just kind of, like you said, you know, you're just like, you get caught off guard by something. You're like, shit, I should have done this differently. But then, you know, how'd you know? I mean, you know, and you're doing the best you can with the knowledge you have at the time. And that's all you can do.
And the problem is, one thing I find is I then end up dwelling on it and thinking that I'm now behind. That's the problem. Is like, I think about it and I'm like, if I hadn't have got those Royals, I'd be so much further ahead. But then you've got to think further ahead of what? You know what I mean? So it's weird. It's definitely a mental thing that I suffer with. It's like I feel behind. I feel, you know, I wish I'd started YouTube before it was a craze. Well, how was I supposed to know? I didn't know that. Like, I wish I'd done it during COVID. I don't think I had it. I think I had maybe a bearded dragon during COVID, so it wouldn't have really been a very exciting reptile page, to be honest. But it's that thing where you're like, oh, I should have. But again, it's a funny one because it gets you to where you are. I mean, I'm sure there's things that, you know, we would change regardless of where it's got us. But it's a very good question. But what would I keep the same? I think it's definitely getting Ragnar. Like, as much as it broke my heart that she passed away, she was an absolute game changer for me. So that I definitely wouldn't, because obviously, you know, part of you's like, it hurt too much to have, and then she died, and then is it something I could have avoided, and blah blah blah. But I would make that decision again in a heartbeat, without a doubt. So,
as far as keeping the same, I would definitely continue with never getting into ball pythons. That is one thing I would say. And I would definitely keep the bioactive naturalistic. I like that our enclosures have gotten better. I like that our backgrounds have gotten better. I think that looks good. One thing that I know we need to do better in keeping the same is we've got to kind of publicize that more. And one of the things that we also need to publicize more is we've actually had people come back to our table at expos and buy geckos from us, even though ours are a little higher priced than some other people's, because all of ours have their tail. And the fact that all of our crested geckos have their tail, it speaks to how well we socialize them, how well they're cared for, you know, how low stress we keep them, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we got to start doing better about speaking about the things that we do well.
Yeah. Well, because that comes down to, it's almost like people think it becomes like ego. Like if you're there saying, yeah, I do this really well. It's like you think people are going to go, all right, give it a rest. You know what I mean? I'm giving myself a pat on the back, and I don't think there's a problem with that. Yeah. So no, I agree with that one.
Well, and it's also, marketing yourself to your strengths. I mean, I'm never going to be the guy chasing the $10,000 first morph or anything like that. I breed what I like, and that's how I sit with it. And so what do I do differently, or what do I do that I feel makes my animals good, and talk about that more.
Yeah, definitely. I think the other thing is, obviously, I don't want to say blindsided, but when I first got back into the reptiles, it was very much a case of I was easily sold there's no way of saying this without making it sound like I'm being rude to them, but like the beginner reptiles, the early ones, that like the cresty, the leopard gecko, the things like that. I jumped into them too soon because I got too excited. But again, it was like I had a blank check that I was, we could get reptiles. Obviously, back in the day when I lived with my parents, I had a leopard gecko, and that was it. I wasn't allowed anymore. When you've got your own house, you can get what you want. And
adult money and free will is dangerous.
I took that personally, and obviously it was like, oh yeah, we've got a deal. If you get this setup, you get a cresty for 50% off. And I went, I'm in. Oh, if you get this setup and you buy this with it, then you get a leopard gecko for 20% off. I'm in. And it's just things like that. And it's like, damn, because then I look around, and then obviously the people that I speak to, the people I've met in the hobby, they're like, and some of the animals that they've got that I didn't realize you were allowed to keep. I had no idea you could keep tree monitors as pets. I didn't have a clue. I thought these were things that were either in the wild or in zoos, and that was it. I had no idea, proper new. And now I'm like, damn. Damn.
They're just priced out of my reach right now, man. I mean,
oh yeah, there is that for me as well.
Because sure. I'd have to get the enclosure. I have to free up the space somewhere at the moment. And then you get the lizards, right? You got to get everything else set up before you get tree monitors. I mean, they're too delicate to just, well, I'm going to figure it out after I buy it. No, that's not not that you do that.
And obviously, I think that's the good thing about the hobby at the minute is we're seeing a lot of people getting their setups ready for the species they want, not getting the species they want and then getting the setup afterwards. Like, I want that, I'm going to get it, and like you say, I'll figure it out. So I do think there's a lot more of that going on, to be fair, which is good. Let's have a look. What's there on? So we're going back to what Katu, like we were saying about the ponds. I have to manually drain it with buckets. Nice.
Caddy, get a thing called a Python. They make them for the fish hobby. It's basically a powered siphon. You can either put it on a sink if your faucet has threads where you can screw on the garden hose attachment, and then it actually acts as a powered siphon and sucks everything out. It will clog with larger stuff, like if you've got cypress mulch or something that squid's thrown in there, but beyond that, like, it'll drain the water, which is great.
Best way to have a drain on the bottom for me, got to be the way to go. As long as you've got something surrounding it to not, like you say, take all the debris and the big stuff and clog it. But hey, what's up, Andrew and Charlie? Just jumped on here. Hello, Amy. Thank you for joining. Amy. Pleasure seeing you again. They do large dog bathtubs that have drains in the bottom that I'm considering. Yeah, good shout. Did I just hear that Jojo got evicted? Yes, unfortunately so.
Yeah,
but the thing is, like you say, it's one of those where it's a massive commitment. I know there's a whole thing of, in the pet hobby in general, like, yeah, well, you've made that commitment, so you got to stick to it until death do you part. But I think there's more to it than that. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on your feelings towards that animal. Like, there does seem to be a lot more in the reptile hobby of getting something and being like, maybe this isn't the species for me, let me find it a better home, which isn't frowned upon. It's like me, I moved on a lot of royal pythons and no one blinks an eye. But if I was to get a dog and be like, nah, not really getting on with this dog, I'm just gonna, you know what I mean, you'd get grilled. You'd get absolutely grilled. But yeah, it's crazy how that works. But
well, he's gone to a better place. I mean, like I said, these friends of ours, they breed venomous. They've got red spitting cobras. They've got Morlitz crocs. They've got, these people have large outdoor enclosures on acreage. I mean, he went to a much better, safer location than we could give him where we currently live.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Cresties scare me a little with how tiny and fragile they are. Well, my Cresty, I'm sure I've told this story before. he managed to. He's up there, probably. Is he awake? Not yet. The lights are still on in the room, not on the enclosure. We got him. He changed from being like upstairs and downstairs about 4 or 5 times. He came with us on a house move. Didn't bother him at all. He once had one of the cats sit on his enclosure and break the roof off. Didn't really bother him at all. Fireworks, thunder and lightning. Again, moving upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, down. All of this. 2 kids coming into the house, 2 babies. Didn't ever drop his tail. Absolutely fine. One day, I went to move the fake leaves that had fallen on the floor instead of being on his glass, and he happened to be under there, and he dropped his tail at that exact moment.
Kayla was digging for eggs in an adjacent enclosure, not in the enclosure with this particular gecko, and he just freaked out, pinged all over the glass, and threw his tail. And it's like, we didn't even do anything to you, bro. You were just chilling. Like, what's the? Why are you panicking, man?
It really annoyed me because it's like I almost took pride in myself that this gecko had been through. I don't want to say so much. It's not like he's had a rough life. Do you know what I mean? But like these things that could have freaked him out to the point of tail drop. And all it took was for me to not realize he was under these leaves and go, oh, hello. And he just lost it. And he just, Well, to be fair, I did manage to film that, the tail, and I've not shown it yet. It was crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like opens up. And
it's weird. It's it looks like it's attached with like weird little claws, isn't it? It's really weird.
You can tell it's made to come off. I mean, it detaches and immediately stops bleeding, and it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
R.I.P. the Queen. I'm sure that's it's about Ragnar. Rest in peace. Nick, thank you for joining us. That's the first comment I've seen from Nick. So, I feel like enrichment is lost on a lot of keepers. See, we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? Where all you did was put new sticks and logs in your boa enclosures, and it was like a new enclosure. Yeah, it was like a brand new enclosure for them.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do a lot. I mean, it's literally, like I said, put new sticks in, move sticks from one enclosure to the other so that, it has the other boa smell on it. Now it's in this other enclosure with this other boa. They'll spend days crawling around sniffing everything. Even after you missed them, if you do it, regularly on the nights you missed, they'll just be out crawling, doing activities. So, I mean, they do like enrichment. They like new things in their enclosure. I think if you keep them sterile and stagnant, I think they do get bored. I do think it's kind of bad on them.
Yeah. They've got nothing to think about. That's the thing. They've got anything to consider. It's just like everything's the same. I'm fed on the same day. I'm fed the same meal. My enclosures are the same. My temperatures are the same. So, I mean, even just adding new leaf litter, I found with a few of them, but mainly Dagger. When I get a couple new bags of leaf litter that I've got, whack that in there. He's rooting around in there for ages, days, and it's nice because that hasn't cost me a penny. Yeah, and I know his brain is working. He's up to something. He's trying to figure stuff out, and it's something for him to do. And that monitor brain is working. So, like you say, it doesn't have to be a complete revamp and a new enclosure and a new this, and it can just be swapping logs around. It can just be leaf litter.
Yeah, but you're not doing any better. I mean, it doesn't matter how big the box is if the box is still a boring, sterile box, right? So, I mean, it's not that much different than keeping them in a drawer system or something. You still have them in a box, and the box is boring. So, they need stuff to do. They need to be able to be animals, whether that's a monitor, a gecko, a boa, whatever. They need to be able to exhibit those naturalistic behaviors. And you're talking about with Dagger. I know when the Ackies are hungry because they start digging for the roaches that are loose in their enclosures. Right, so I'll see them digging under rocks and moving cork flats around and, acting crazy. And I'm like, oh, I should probably feed y'all, huh? Like, y'all are ready now.
They're letting you know.
Exactly. Yeah. But kind of laying around, basking, being chill. I'm like, y'all don't need food. You're fine. So, but that's good for them too, to be forced to try to scavenge and find some food and think and use their sense of smell and, do monitor things. They're not just allowed to be potatoes.
It's not just a case of here's your food on tongs. No, you can go back to basking. It's, you've got to work for it a little bit. Yeah, I agree. I'll tell you one thing I would like to do with Dagger at some point is remember I did the puzzle feeder with Ragnar against Aya.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever tried him on that puzzle feeder. I think that would be interesting, especially with the size of that boy as well.
Well, I'll tell you, JoJo, when we tried puzzle feeders on him, his default mode was violence. So it wasn't try to solve the puzzle; it was try to break the puzzle. I know food's in there. I'm not playing this game for you, human. I'm not a dancing monkey. I am destroying and I'm getting my food.
Yeah. So if you've seen the videos of the dogs with their slow feeders and they just tip it over and just eat it quickly off the floor, you're like, all right, well, you win.
You know what they say, man? Violence isn't always the best answer, but it's still an answer.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. You should be proud of yourself for something you're proud or passionate about. Absolutely. Absolutely. The amount of education we try to do at expos is also abnormal in the hobby. Love that. That's good. That's very good.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that come back to us, even if they didn't buy something that we are experienced with, and they'll come by and ask us questions on their care of their bearded dragon or their ball python or day gecko or something. And I'm like, well, didn't the person you bought that from tell you all this? And they're like, well, I mean, they told me a little, but I feel like y'all, probably. I'm like, I don't know anything about day geckos. Like, I've never kept them. Like, I know basics, but
that's quite nice though. That's very flattering, to be fair. That is very nice. The thing I usually, because I've had occasionally people ask me about stuff, and I'll usually say, if I don't know, I can try and help you find someone that does, which is always quite a nice one, because at least if they trust you, they're going to trust your judgment on who you're going to send them to. So that's always a good one. That's
always bring that back up again.
That's pretty much what. Yeah, that's just more in the form of a question. I'm pretty sure I've answered that, but thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Can't compare apples to pears. I can't remember what that was regarding.
I think you're talking about dogs and reptiles.
About what? Sorry.
Rehoming dogs versus rehoming reptiles.
That's it. Yeah.
I got to quit hitting my desk. Good Lord.
Asian water monitors are amazing, but my God, the enclosure size alone is wild. Squid is going to be my biggest lizard. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. They are a massive, massive lizard, and they are an active lizard, but how big is big enough? Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one, because to some people you could say, I don't know, 10 by 8 by 8, and other people might go, that's still too small.
I think for an adult male, your mainland Asian water, you're talking a 7 to 8, sometimes 9 foot animal.
Yeah.
And with how intelligent they are, I mean, they need a zoo level outdoor, almost, like big pond, big climbing structures, I mean, 40 foot by 100 foot. I don't know, dude, like something ridiculous. I mean, that was one thing I did learn by having him for 3 years, is it's like, no matter what I do, I'm going to feel like it's too small.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs his own building. I mean,
something like Kenan, the way he keeps his, I think, is pretty.
Yeah. See, like Slinky's in like a 30 by 30 by something, but Kenan also has a secure facility where he actually lets Slinky out to walk.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Slinky will go swim around in his turtle ponds and stuff. And
that's cool.
He's caught a couple of wild water snakes a handful of times and had himself a snack.
Nice.
But yeah, because his, Slinky's pretty tame and pretty used to Kenan. So if Kenan needs to pick him up and move him, Kenan can.
Yeah.
And Slinky, again, Kenan lives on a pretty secure acreage. He's got a lot of security measures in place, so he can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a funny one. It's like, I mean, for me, I must admit that when I see Dagger in here, I don't think I've ever looked in there and gone, oh, it's a bit small. I'm quite happy with this size for one roughneck. Ragnar was quite small, and I think it was still okay. But just for Dagger, I'm actually pretty pleased. But I don't think I'd be happy with a water monitor in there. I really don't. 8 by 7 by 4 is just not big enough. Just isn't big enough. But
no.
Then that begs the question, and we could be getting into it here, is why are they still being bred so prolifically? Like, how many people can keep these animals to the standard they should be kept to?
I ask that question all the time. I mean, I don't know how it is over there in England or in the UK or Europe or whatever, but everybody wants big crap over here. Like they still, people locally to me in the state of Alabama, well, we can't own Burmese pythons or reticulated pythons anymore. They they still are like, oh, I wish I could have berms. And I'm like, why? Why do you need a 14-foot snake? Like what? I don't understand this desire to have big things. And you ask them a lot of times, like, well, they're just really big and cool. And I'm like, okay, but what are you going to keep it in? You know, like I think a saltwater croc is really big and cool, but I don't, you know, like
yeah.
kind of an absurd thing for an individual to keep.
I think a lion is big and cool. Certainly not going to keep one of those.
Yeah, but I mean, so I don't know this obsession. Again, I can only speak to the U.S. market. We just, it's all about big and loud, and Asian waters are pretty. You got all the morphs. You got the T-Neg, the T-Paz albino. You got the black dragon. You got Axanthic just came out. They've got all kinds of stuff they're doing with them now. And so you can get them in the weird fancy colors, and they get big and they're impressive. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I see hundreds to probably thousands just from people that I am loosely associated with that they breed, and I see them online all the time. And I'm just like, holy F, man. I mean, why are we, that's the 90th monitor I've seen you hatch out this year. Where are they going?
Because it's not like they're small clutches either. Like they are, you know, they're pretty impressive clutch sizes. So where are they going? Yeah,
they're all dying. I don't think most of them make it to adulthood.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
I mean, same thing with retics and berms and stuff. I think they're green iguanas are a prime example of that. Like, they just don't make it to adulthood.
Yeah. I think I'm spoiled with Turtle. My leech, Turtle the leech is still great.
It's a fantastic. I like that.
It suits him as well. If you've seen him, it suits
him. Yeah.
Plus, I have to worry about a lot less. I worry a lot less about his tail. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. When I add leaf litter alone, that makes all my gut. There you go. I need to get more. Mine's all disappeared. I'm assuming that's leaf litter. Yeah. Well, we're coming up to free leaf litter season, ladies and gents. Saying that I need to grab.
So Nick Lowe, who's in the chat, he's my leaf dealer.
He's your plug.
Yeah, he has all the leaves I need. I get the leaves.
Nice. I've got my 3 monitors and a few geckos. I'm always moving things around in their enclosures. It keeps them thinking and investing everything. See, this is the thing. But also I think it's good for the keeper as well, because it always, like, that's why I always enjoy like the new enclosures that I set up, because then it gives me something new that I've seen that I look at that I'm like, that's cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I come into the enclosure now, and at the minute, the biggest one, well, as you know, this enclosure behind me is the newest build, which is still a secret, coming soon, hopefully. But the Aki build, for example, I still love seeing that thing. And he went from looking big in his enclosure to now, I promise you, there's times that I look in there and I'm like, I don't know if he's escaped or not. I have no idea. I hope not, because the door's been open. And then 3 hours later, if I come back in, I check Pride Rock in there again, and he's just sat there looking at me like, bugs? And I'm like, all right, we're all good. But yeah, it just makes you feel better as a keeper as well, like adding the new stuff and seeing them enjoy it. And it's good for both the keeper and the kept, I think.
I agree. But I mean, if you've seen Amy's videos, right? I mean, she's a person that I think is doing it right. She knew what she wanted. She wanted medium monitors, you know, and she has an Aki now, and she keeps them in really nice enclosures, and she spends a metric shitload of time with them. I mean, just, you know, she'll post a 5-10 minute video of her walking Georgia around the house and playing and feeding and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the kind of monitor people we all need to strive to be. Amy is like the perfect example of somebody who is caring for them correctly and has them for the right reason, you know, for the enjoyment factor, for something that is intelligent that you can actually socialize with, instead of just, you know, boring crested gecko that doesn't have a brain cell. So, I mean, I love watching Amy's stuff. I love it. It makes me so happy.
No, I must say Catty is very similar in that sense as well. Like, you can see the thought and the effort and all of that goes into. It's not a case of that's a cool animal, I'm going to get it and worry about it after. It's I'm going to do 3 months of research plus before I even consider asking about it. So,
and I think Catty would straight fight you over squid. I don't think that would end well. 100%. She'd be throwing equal lefts and rights, man. Game on.
Brute force and ignorance always win.
This seems to be true, Dan.
I've used a ball with holes in before for squid, so he has to get it out, and he starts to get stroppy sometimes if it takes longer.
Yeah, the ball. We used to use those for JoJo, and yet, dude, he would just try to destroy it. He was just like, "Screw this! I'm not beating." No,
Yeah. Astronomical Pi Studio Echo Foxtrot. That's one hell of a name, my friend. But thank you for joining. Appreciate you. I enrich my leopard gecko by making pop culture parody skits with him. Sorry? I plan to adopt his biological dad and place them tank to tank. Do you think them seeing each other would be too stressful? I'm still trying to get over the first part of that comment, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore that. That's going to break my brain. But the other part, I think you're just going to see what they do. If you put the tank glass side by side, if they're just constantly trying to kill each other through the glass, then obviously separate them.
It's one of those that they'll tell you, isn't it? They'll let you know.
Yeah. I mean, definitely don't put them in the same enclosure. Male geckos are known to be extremely violent. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. But Alex, thanks for okay. Amy knows astronomical. Excellent. Okay, so this I know exactly what this part's linking to. You know when I said if I don't know the answer, I'll send you to someone who does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't be such a reptile nerd, and I won't come to. No, continue being a reptile nerd. It's great. Happy to be here, Amy. Excellent. Love to see it. I think they need a bigger room than my flat would allow. Yeah, again, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. Asian water monitors again. Wow, we've had a lot of comments, to be fair. Got to always think about how to source the animals you own as well, in a way, when it comes to enrichment. So again, this does remind me of a conversation me and you were having, which was the difference between an animal raised in a rack that then goes to an enclosure and takes longer for it to settle and adjust. I recently sold the banana royal python that was in here in an enclosure to a young kid who wanted his first snake in an enclosure. And I messaged him a few days later just so you know how you getting on, snake getting on right. Are you going to attempt to feed soon? He went, I got excited and I attempted to feed 2 days after he got home, which I know was probably not a good idea, but he ate it straight away.
Yeah, and and it's like, so we get told all the time, people buy a boa from us and, it's been packed, it's been traveled to an expo, it's been unpacked, it's had people look at it all day, and then they get it home that evening and feed it and it eats. So, I mean, I think socializing them, I think keeping them in clear, where they can see outside, enclosures, stuff like that. I mean, I think you get out of the animal what you put in. And I mean, it's no wonder that people buy, ball pythons are honestly the worst culprit. I hate to always be crapping on ball pythons, but I do now. But, they're bred in racks, then they're raised in racks. The racks are opaque. Most people don't want to spend the extra money for the clear racks. They want to buy the V70, tubs. And, then they sell it to somebody who's a pet keeper that wants a pretty snake that they're going to put in an enclosure at their house, and then it doesn't eat. And then they contact the breeder, and the breeder's like, "Oh, well, you got to put it in the rack," And it's like, well, maybe if the snakes you were going to sell at the expo you had taken and put in some kind of an enclosure style setup where they could get stimuli, they wouldn't stress out so bad when a pet keeper wants to buy this animal from you instead of somebody else trying to breed ball pythons. But maybe that's a crazy thought.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, it is funny. Because like you say, it's knowing where the animal's going to go next. Because obviously the problem is with a lot of these royals or bulls, 9 times out of 10 they're being bred for other breeders, so they're just going to go in another rack anyway. But I think if you come from a place where that's not your plan, it's probably easier. And I think if you charge a little bit more for an animal you're selling that hasn't been raised in a rack that is going to do well in an enclosure, I think it's worth that little bit more money.
It is to the right people.
Yeah.
A lot of people, we've noticed, at expos, it's all about the deal, man. Like these people, they don't care if that animal was purchased from a wholesale farm breeder and then, $20 tacked on top of it and then sold to the first person to walk by. Like they're not interested in that. A lot of people are just coming through with their kids trying to buy them a lizard or a snake, and they just want something that's not going to break the bank to buy. So that's one thing I've noticed. Our group of people, right? Like your fans and our friends and stuff, and the people in our discords and things like that. Like we're the other side of that coin, right? Like we pay for quality over whatever it is. I'd rather pay an extra couple $100 to get something that's already socialized and ready to go than roll the dice on something that wasn't, that was wild caught or something that was, rack raised and bred. And I know it's going to get stressed out when I put it in an enclosure, but not everybody, most people aren't geared that way. They're just looking for a deal on a pet.
Yeah, for sure.
And sadly, reptiles are still considered to be, I mean, as far as I can tell, disposable. The parents don't give a shit if it dies. They're just making their kids happy. Like, it's not a.
I mean, in all fairness, someone that I know has approached me saying that his daughter wants a gecko a leopard gecko, and he was saying, she wants something that she's not going to be worried about accidentally hurting or with handling or this and that. And I went, I'm going to stop you. I said, that's fine. But your first initial thought needs to be, you need to make sure it's not something she's going to get bored of. Mm-hmm. I said, because something like a leopard gecko, which I would recommend, I said, it's not going to be out all the time. The chances are you're only going to see it dawn and dusk. If you get lucky, maybe during the day, you're not going to be able to just pick it up and handle it from day one. It's going to be choice based. It's going to be, so I said, it is a little bit more of a graft than people think. But if you know that your daughter is going to be able to get over that boredom thing and will just, or even if she doesn't necessarily want a pet that she can hold, like more of a viewing pet that she can have in the perfect enclosure, I said, that's fine. But that's your step one, is making sure that it's not an animal she's going to get bored with first. But in actual fact, I've invited him and his daughter to come round because they weren't sure. They were thinking leopard gecko. And I said, look, you want to come round, see the bearded dragons, the leopard gecko, the cresty, the whatever. I said, you're more than welcome to. So we're probably just going to take it from there. But
man, I got to say, too, I am starting to get more and more convinced that bearded dragons are not beginner reptiles. Like, as people, I hate the term beginner reptile, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think they're way more complicated than a lot of other things that are out there. I mean, a leopard gecko is probably way easier than a bearded dragon. I know crested geckos are. I even think ackies, to an extent, are easier than bearded dragons, other than being more active and needing a little more space. But like, they're picky, man. The amount of, they're hard to get their diet correct and properly balanced, and it's just, they're tough.
And also getting and maintaining the correct UV levels as well on an animal like that. It's, because like we say with a leopard gecko that's crepuscular, yes, offer UVB, but if it's off a little bit, it's not going to have potential detrimental effects as far as I'm aware. I could be talking shit, but it does make sense. Whereas with a beardy that is Australia, direct sunlight, give me all the heat and UV you can, it's easier to miss out on that, because obviously for a lot of people that don't know, if the lamp is still on 2 years later, as far as they're aware, it's still on and working. Like, if you're not researching, you don't know.
Correct.
It's working until the lamp dies, and you go, oh, we'll get a new one. But that animal could have been going for 18 months, 2 years or whatever, without the correct UVI.
Well, and you with the Ackies too, even though it's still Australian, they still require a pretty intense UV, spectrum. If you're feeding properly gut-loaded insects, and then when your treats are whole food items, like, a day-old quail like I like to do, or, a small hopper mouse every once in a while, some kind of really, something with some good bones and stuff like that in it, they're easier to ups. I let my UV go a little too long. They're not going to crash and get metabolic bone disease because they're getting a lot of pre-processed, calcium and D3 from the prey items you're feeding them. Whereas the bearded dragon, with their veggie mix and all that stuff, like they can just go down quick.
Yeah, veggie and bugs, and that's it. Yeah, I think I've only ever fed pinkies to Rango twice, and that's only because she laid eggs, so it was like a boost to her. Just to get her back up to where she was before.
I give Mushu a pinky like once every 4 months, just as a treat.
Yeah. But they all deserve the same effort. But a wild individual knows what the wild is, but a snake that was born in a tub only knows a tub.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Oi, evening all. Hello, Phil. How are you, my friend? Thank you for joining. Phil, we still need. Firstly, I need to reply to you on Instagram, and secondly, we need to figure out when Phil has kindly invited me back onto his podcast again, and I need to find a bit of time to come and join you again, Phil. But thank you for joining. Slinky is huge now. I've not seen any Kenan videos in a while, to be fair, so I wouldn't know.
Slinky's a monster.
Is he massive now? Is he? Yeah.
He's a monster.
I want some acres one day.
Me too.
Get it done. So this was actually meant to be do many, because she's put the correction after. Do many people keep them over here? I don't think I've ever met anyone that has one. So as in Asian water monitors, I'm not sure. Obviously,
Ken had one.
Ken did have one, but again, that almost, no offense, Ken, if you are watching this, but it almost proves the point. He did, and now he doesn't.
Yeah.
Is that because it was too big? I don't know. I don't know what his circumstances were, but it does beg the question. Got an Asian water monitor. Was it a case of what the hell do I do now? Move it? I don't know. And I do know that when I was part of that reptile shop, they had one as well. She was a smaller female, but even then, she was too big. I don't know what happened to her when the shop shut down. I'm not sure where she ended up, which is a shame. But apart from that, I don't know. But I think they are a lot more pricier over here as well, to be fair, because I think they're harder to come by, which again is a good thing. I don't see that as a bad thing.
No.
Actually, to be fair, I did miss, this part here. Paul said, unofficially the largest lizard ever, 10 foot 5 inches. So Will actually told me that recently as well. So that's interesting. So this whole thing about, croc or Komodo, unofficially Asian water monitor, which is mental.
Good times had by all.
Curious about opinions on wild caught being brought in, especially with royals and such, which we have thousands of getting bred yearly, and there's more than plenty in rescues. So if we're talking just royals, I think it's completely insane that any new ones are being brought in, because it's not even like you need to diversify bloodlines. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of different bloodlines. As far as I can tell, as far as we've seen with I know it's obviously down to morphs and breeding and genetics, things like that, but I can't imagine we're short of bloodlines for royals in, never mind the UK, but the world. So the fact that you've got so many in the trade, I don't think you need to take any more from the wild, personally. Now, there are some species that, obviously, to help with conservation and breeding efforts, yes, depends on the species, but yeah, I think it depends on the species, personally.
I mean, I see so, I mean, if you're somebody, so I can speak about boas because I deal with boas. So like Vin Russo, well known for boas. He literally wrote I had it somewhere, the book on boas, literal book on boas. So he's been working on this line of blood morph boas and getting them, introduced into Nicaraguan blood and making these snakes smaller. Like his breeding females, when they're coiled up, he could put his hand over them and they were barely bigger than the diameter of his hand, circumference of his hand. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and then he would bring in wild caught blood, breed that to it to kind of just reinvigorate that line, and make a bunch of hets, breed those together, and then could carry on doing what he was doing. Oh, Kayla went and brought me the book.
Excellent.
So anyway, so I could see, because wild blood, you're guaranteed, like there's no way this genetic strain, I guess not guaranteed, but you're 99.99% positive it's not had any relation to anything you've got in your collection. I could see some of the more hardcore breeders, now just your general John Smith public guy probably doesn't need it. The other thing I think with wild caught, as far as, the rarer stuff, I mean, if it is rarer and there's a demand for it, then, I think that importing it and then getting it in captivity and getting it bred in captivity is a way to stop the pressure on the wild population. So it'll lower the need to go harvest these animals and then bring them in because somebody's already making a bunch of them. And then, of course, the more that are made, the cheaper they inevitably become because, supply and demand. And so I think that's a good thing, too. I also think, excuse me, people need to be willing to pay more for captive bred. I mean, I was at an expo, somebody had $350 captive bred savannas. That they'd been, they bred savanna monitors or Bosque monitors in captivity. And they were like, these are all healthy, well-established, blah, blah, blah. And people were still going and buying the $75 imports, $25 sometimes, over these healthier animals. And it's trying to convince, again, general public that's lazy and cheap the benefits of spending the extra money on the captive bred versus the wild caught. And then, of course, you still have, in my opinion, the unscrupulous folks that are bringing in cases and cases of wild farmed, Bosc monitors into the U.S. every year, thousands of them. It's stupid. It's dumb. There's no reason to do that anymore.
Yeah. Again, I think that comes down to the whole thing of you get what you pay for. If you're going to pay that extra money for something that you know where it's been bred, you know the parents, you know the genetics, you know the where they've been raised, how they've been raised, the diet, everything. Surely that's worth more money. Surely. But again, like you say, general public, unfortunately, a lot of them just go, well, hang on, that one's 200 quid cheaper than that one. Why would I pay more? And anything you say after that isn't going to count towards anything. So you're basically just wasting your breath.
He commented again back to us. I'm just going to respond to his last comment real quick. And yes, he said many a case study of animals taken to establish a pet population leading to a crash in the wild ones. Yes, I agree with that. And like I said, so if it's something that is going to be in demand, smugglers are going to smuggle, right? Like you're not going to stop that. Black market is going to exist. People are evil. They're going to make money however they can make money, whether that's smuggling drugs, people, animals, people are terrible. So I think, like I said, if you're going to do it, we need to get it in the hobby, get it bred, and get it distributed so that there'll be less pressure for people to feel the need to black market smuggle something in. That's my opinion. I might be wrong.
It's an opinion. I don't think you can be wrong. My previous dog vet told me she was actually Ken and Harkin's high school prom date back in New York. We gave him a shout out on one of his streams and he remembered her. Excellent. Nick, bug plug.
He breeds isopods, dubia roaches for feeders. Yeah.
So I need if I'd have got one letter wrong in that could have been detrimental. But yeah,
that was probably his plan all along. No.
Yeah, probably. I like that. I respect it.
Yeah.
Captive bred is best. Amy is amazing. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that. Love it. Let's have a look. What else we got? I remember the few people. Yeah, I've sent people to Catty to ask about blue tongue skinks because obviously, even though I've got Dobby, obviously I've still been learning and trying to figure out more. And early doors before I had Dobby as well, people would say about blue tongue skinks, and I'd say go to Catty because just go and look at the work she's doing with Larry. That's all you need to know. That's cool. Serenity, I currently have a change jar started for the 5-year anniversary of Monitor Fest. Excellent.
I expect you to be there, man.
Yeah, I wish I could go to Monitor Fest. Yeah. See, unfortunately for me, it's like, because obviously Brad, Will, and Alex are always asking me to go out there for it. It lands on my son's birthday weekend every single year.
It's always on our Memorial Day weekend.
So. It's always on that weekend. So I'm not leaving him for one day when he's older. Maybe we'll come out together. That's different. But for the meantime, I can't.
We could lock him in a lace monitor enclosure. It'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly. I make short films and shorts featuring my leopard gecko, Lieutenant Pancake.
Fantastic name.
I mean, that name, incredible. He has started everything from Star Wars to Gek 007. Wow, I need to check this out. And all while getting enrichment from the props used. That's amazing. Thanks for the advice. Wow, we are behind. I'm so happy to get Squid because he was well bred by a responsible breeder who was knowledgeable. Love to hear it.
Quit blowing smoke up Paul's
Riddler, I'm back. Welcome back, my friend. Thank you for joining. Back on the main account. Whereas I worried a lot more about Larry as he had unknown origins and was a bit worse off. But you've done a phenomenal job. Ackies over Beardies. Now that I will also agree with. They are a lot more fun, but they're a monitor lizard. Do you know what I mean? I love my Beardies. Don't get me wrong. They're great, but Ackies all day. Ackies are way better than Goofy Bearded Dragons. Bearded Dragons definitely not a so-called beginner yet.
Yeah.
All keepers should have a solar meter. I'll be honest, I don't. But in all fairness,
I didn't until Paul bullied me into it, but I didn't even know what a solar meter was until Paul started ranting about him one day, and then I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
It is something I will purchase at some point, but that's not to say that I don't intermittently change my UVs when I believe it's been long enough. So, I don't, like I say, I'm not one of these that waits until the lamp goes out to change it. My Aki's probably my most friendly and interactive lizard. Yeah.
Mine are crackheads.
Mine is still in the crackhead stage, but I'm trying to, oh, this is a good one. Speaking of Akis, y'all never told me how messy Aki monitors are. My Aki is messier than my Peach Throat and Savannah monitor combined.
Oh, they're awful. They're like scaly ferrets. They're so bad.
Scaly ferrets is the best description I've ever heard for
they're
Akis.
so bad. I mean, just everywhere, into everything, throwing dirt. I mean, digging where they're not supposed to, digging where they are supposed to.
Oh, well, to be fair, like I say, this glorious, massive enclosure with fake custom background that I built for mine. 3 days later, part of it has been dug out because you can see that's where I've stuck one of the fake or like one of the branches in there. A gap, minuscule. It's just gone, I'm digging that out. Why? What's wrong with you? But
we grouted on those cork rounds, and inside that tube to anchor it, we'd done some black foam, and we scraped as much of it out as we could, but there's still some in the back. Fiona found that somehow and went in that tube and spent 3 days just shredding what little bit of foam was left in there and throwing it everywhere. I was like, why?
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 I have to clean the water bowl out every single day and scrub it.
Yep.
Anyways, good night, lads. Just got in to have to sort stuff. No worries, Paul. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you, even though that was just over 10 minutes ago. Sorry, my friend. I'm still catching up. Wild caught in right hands, good for certain species. Royals is mad. Yeah, so pretty much what I say. What I said, sorry. We'll say my comments because I study wildlife conservation at uni and I've been on both sides of the argument. Interesting. Very interesting. Many a case study of animals taken to establish a pet population leading to a crash in the wild ones. Yeah. Because again, the problem is if it's a species that has a clutch of 2 every 3 to 4 months and you're taking 10, 15 out at a time, you don't need to be a mathematician to know that eventually you're just going to decimate the population, and there's no guarantees that the ones going into captivity are going to be breeding anyway. So yeah.
Yep.
But there's cases where it's helped with conservation, like European sand lizards reintroduction, if bloodlines are managed properly. Yeah. The difference in their personalities can be staggering. If a person isn't prepared for how skittish a wild caught can be compared to captive bred, then they're going to be disappointed. Yeah.
Yep. I see that constantly.
100%. Hey, Big Brad, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for joining. What's up, boys? Stopping in for a little bit before I get pulled in 10 different directions.
Yeah, you've been a busy boy lately.
Yeah, and he's only about to get busier as well. Yeah. So good luck, my friend. Yeah. Monitor Fest is a riot. Yeah, I'd love to do that. But yeah, need to get to Monitor Fest when I'm in the US one day. Hopefully, when I get some wildlife filming under my belt. Good luck to you.
There's all kinds of fun stuff to take pictures of at Brian Waterloo's facility too. So
my fingers are well and truly crossed for you. You can do it. Custom build royalty is here. Shout out to Brad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brad. If scaly ferrets is the best description for Akis, then Daxter from Jack and Daxter best describes a leopard gecko.
I don't know who that is.
I'm afraid I don't either, my friend. Well, I may have to look into that, but I will try and remember that. How's the family doing? Scaly and non-scaly. I'm assuming that's towards Brad. Yeah. He needs to let me tag along to Monitor Fest.
So that's my buddy Scott, and yes, I will stuff you in a suitcase, bro. I mean, you just tell me. I'll get some extra carry on, and we can make it happen, dude. You just need an oxygen tank and probably some thermals. It gets really cold in the luggage compartment of an airplane, but
it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Mayaki purposely knocks over both water dishes as soon as they put clean water in there, and is constantly flinging dirt all over the place.
Yep. Accurate.
Yeah.
And
again, But that makes me laugh because that almost makes me look at Dagger like a big Aki, because he does the same. Like I said to you earlier in the stream, it's a case of here's your beautiful, fresh, clean water that you can either bathe in or drink or both, whatever you. Oh, he's shit in it. Okay. Thanks. Nice one. Cheers.
So Kayla used to make fun of me because I'd walk by when I used to have the aquariums, and I'd walk by and just stare at the aquarium, forget what I was doing, and just watch the fish do fish stuff. Well, now when we're doing something in the den, she does that to the Ackies.
Okay.
Because the big 5-foot Ackie enclosures in our den, and she'll just be, she's like, "Do you see what those retards are doing?" And I'm like, "Yep, yes, I did. Yes." She's like, "What's wrong with them?" I'm like, "I don't know." I was like, "But they're having fun, so just let them."
Yeah. What's wrong with them? They're having fun. That's the best answer you could possibly give, to be fair. Love that. Top goal is to film wild varanids and make some documentaries. Do it. I back it. I'm not the sort of person that's going to be like, well, you could do, but it's been done. Do it. Make it better. You can do it. Yeah, do it. I'm very much an enabler when it comes to things like that. What you saying? Pickles likes to immediately crawl into his freshly cleaned water bowl and dig dirt back into it. It's like they get offended by clean water.
Yep, 100%. Monitors in general, it's a monitor thing.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Brad,
Baby number
congrats,
2
man.
in the next 72 hours. Damn, good luck, my friend.
Let's go.
Good luck, everyone. Shout out Brad. Let's get a good luck in the comments for Father Brad.
Proven breeder.
I'm sure Jess is going to smash it, and I'm sure you're both going to smash it as parents of 2, my friend. Don't let the stories that I tell about being a father of 2 scare you too much.
Your next t-shirts, Riddler, need to say "proven breeder" on the back.
Mate, that is incredible. And then maybe I'll get ones for my kids that just say "the proof." Shitting in the water dish is a constant thought for any reptile. Couldn't turn around without my beardy do it. Yeah. I think, to be fair to the snakes, I think I've only had one of the royals shit in the water bowl in the whole time that I've been keeping reptiles, maybe twice. But the problem with that is the first time I ever saw a royal python poo, I thought the cat had got into the enclosure because they're massive. So having that in the water bowl, I just wanted to throw out the whole enclosure. So that wasn't great, but yeah.
I upgraded a lot of my boas to like totes for water bowls instead of the commercially available pretty water bowls. I just said, screw it, I'm just going to get totes and use that as a water bowl. So a lot of them have started soaking, and that has started the poo in the water bowl fiasco.
Yeah.
And I mean, luckily, I only feed my adult boas, once every 14, 21 days. So they don't have that much poo, but when they do, it's massive, and it's always in the water now. Always. And it smells awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. You walk in the reptile room and you're just like, was there a sewage leak? Like, what the hell just happened?
See, this is the thing. They aim for either the water bowl or, failing that, directly under the basking spot.
Yep.
So they just cook it instead. Yeah. That's what the beardies do. The beardies leave it directly under the basking spot, and they live in the living room. So you walk into the living room, you're like, great, it stinks of shit now. Thanks, guys.
My Ackies do that. And then, all my water bowls and my boa enclosures are on the warm side because I want that water to stay warm, and then also want it to evaporate to help manage humidity level.
Yeah.
And so, it's warm poo water. It's wonderful. It's just delicious. It's good soup.
Poop soup.
It's good soup.
Hell yeah, enabling ideas like these lead to good things always. 100%, I back it. I honestly, and tell us all about it. Like, whatever you're doing, tell us, because I love hearing things like that. Good luck, Brad. Oh, here we go. What are both of your opinions on reptiles and the debate over can they feel love for their owners or not? I say yes, 100% from the biggest monitor to smallest gecko. Trust over handling is love.
You want to take it first?
It's a tough one because I don't know about love. I think maybe that's going a bit far. Trust or recognition or something along those lines. I truly believe they recognize you. I truly believe they trust someone more than they would a different person. Love, I don't know. It's a very difficult one because I don't want to sound like I'm calling them heartless monsters. I don't know how capable they are of love.
Well, first off, you have to discuss which type of love you mean, like the Greek philosophers. I'm just kidding. No, I've noticed with our animals that they do have preferences. Like some of them like Kayla more than me. Some of them like me more than Kayla, and I don't have an explanation for that. And I have had instances where, like, I was talking to you about it. I had a female boa ovulate late, so I introduced this male, and I was hoping that we'd catch the ovulation. Well, we missed the ovulation, and I was going to pull him out like I would normally do because you're not supposed to go have boas. And she has become more outgoing. She has become more easy to handle. Like, just her whole personality has calmed down. She was a very anxious snake, and now she's a very calm snake, very confident snake. And it's weird because boas aren't social creatures at all, but somehow by having another animal in the 6-foot viv with her has made her I guess it acts almost like a dither fish for fish aquariums, but it's been weird. It's been interesting to see, and I haven't pulled them apart yet because I'm just like, well, I'm going to breed them this fall anyway, so they might as well stay together. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And everyone, I pull him out when I do feeding so they don't get fed in the same enclosure, and it's weird. But I mean, so unexplained stuff like that. I guess, if I was a crazier person, I'd be like, yes, they love each other. I don't think they do. I just think sometimes animals react differently to different scenarios, and by having that other animal in there, it made her feel more secure for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yes, Taylor is correct. Some of the boas will try to kill me, and they're
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not dismissing the idea entirely, but I think love might be.
I think love's the wrong word.
Yeah, it's the wrong word. I do think there's a trust and a recognition and an understanding between keeper and kept. Because think about it, let's make it excessive. I think if you were to if I was to come in and just start beating Dagger with a stick, but then my wife was going to come in and start hand feeding him chicken, I think he'd end up preferring her. And I think he'd see me and run away.
Syndroming your lizard, man. You should.
Yeah. All right, so cancel that off of the to-do list for tomorrow. So I do think there is a recognition, and I think they are smart enough to understand things like that. But I do think love might be a little bit too far. But I do know where you're coming from. Like, trust and recognition, I think, is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, but like I said, it's weird. Some of them do have preferences. Like one of our male boas, I mean, he has bitten me 3-4 times. He never even looks at Kayla like she's food or anything. It's always food bites with me. He always gets, and I guess that might actually be, now that I think about it, because I'm the one that always feeds them. So maybe he just associates me with food.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I've never made that connection in my very slow brain box until right now.
And there we go. Ceramic water bowl saved me a lot of hassle when scrubbing with Larry's bowl, since he poops in it during his shed with should hopefully within a year or so start doing general species profile video type things on this channel. Cool. Finally, and got some potential trips in the pipeline to places like Australia or Kenya. Okay.
All right, if I subscribe to your channel, you better not blue ball me after this promise, okay?
Agreed. Yeah, I second that. I fully second that. What counts as love? I think at least some of my boys love me, but also it could just be trust. Yeah, I think that's the difference. I think it's potentially a fine line, because obviously I don't want to sit here and say to people, your reptiles don't care about you, they don't know you, they hate you, because I don't think that's true. Is it love? Is it a trust and a recognition? I think that's more what it comes down to. But
I think it's more association and safety.
Association is a good one. Yeah. Because obviously the thing is, like with Ragnar, she ended up being very comfortable around me. But initially, when I first got her, I'd come into the room, she'd run away, hide, and maybe sometimes she didn't even come out of her hide. But eventually, the more I was sat, similar to what I'm doing with Dagger here, the more I sat doing Q&As or working on stuff on the laptop, but next to the enclosure, and I'm talking, she's hearing the voice, and I'm looking over if she is out, and then she's seeing that I'm looking, I've seen you, I'm not going to hurt you. It does build up that that whole thing of, all right, he is there, and he hasn't even come near me. Like he's clearly not going to hurt me. And then if I move too quickly, maybe they go, oh fucking Jesus, like, you know. But it does add up, it does build up. But I think that is more of an association and a level of trust and understanding.
No, I will say Kayla does love me and hates most everyone else, so that's it's factual.
Are there times that she hates you as well, though?
She always tells me she hates me the least, so I take that as positive, you know.
Oh, hates you the least?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think that can count as true love.
I think that's true love. I think that's how it goes.
Depends on accommodation and finances at times. Yeah, of course. We have boas that scream at Charlie.
I haven't smothered him yet.
There you go. That's one of the Kayla cameos. I love
Kayla cameos. Yes.
Kayla cameos.
Yes. Kayla cameos.
We have had male geckos that drop weight when taken away from their females. Yeah, that's crazy.
That has happened.
That's crazy. Squid hates anyone that isn't me. He fully charges at them and puffs up so big. Larry and Pickles are what I describe as loving, as they actively cuddle with me and choose it, but is that trust? So Squid hating everyone that isn't you does not surprise me in the slightest.
Me either.
From what I've seen with the mangroves, I don't know if everyone saw Paul's, is it one of his latest videos, where Solly just launched himself at the glass?
Saw that, yeah.
It's psychotic. I mean, it's amazing. He's just squaring up to Paul through the glass, like you're like this big. What are you doing? But they don't care. They think they are Komodo sized. It's amazing.
Well, I think it's defensive too. I mean, it's like one of the most defensive displays I ever got out of. We have a venomous snake down here called an eastern cottonmouth, and they're a pit viper. Mm-hmm. And down here, everybody's like, "Well, they'll chase you." No, they're just really bluffy and defensive acting. But it was a tiny baby, man, neonate, newborn, still had the bright green tail. Fit in a pest control company was going through and checking their rat bait boxes outside this business, and he was in the little rat bait section. When I tell you they called me freaking out, I go over there to get this cottonmouth. I pop the lid open, and he just starts striking the air, man, like he's going to do something about it. And he's all of 4.5, 5 inches long, you know. And I had my snake bucket. I just picked up the rat box and just dumped him in the bucket and screwed the lid on the bucket and took him out to a creek and let him go. But I mean, dude, yeah, they're just like, no, leave me alone. I'm so terrified of you. It's hilarious.
That's so funny. But the last part, loving as they actively cuddle with me and choose it, but is that trust? Again, the problem is I don't want to say no, it isn't, because I don't know. I'm not a reptile psychologist, and I don't know how much we've researched and looked into it. Like, can anyone sit here and categorically say no? I'm not sure.
I'm not familiar enough with her page. Who is Larry and Pickles? I've missed that one.
Larry is the blue tongue skink, and Pickles is the Aki monitor.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Pickles is the Aki. Yeah, I've seen blue tongue skinks be pretty damn affectionate. I mean, I don't know why we limit reptiles and say that none of them have the capacity to be affectionate. Are they dogs where they'll literally fight somebody to protect you? I don't think so. No. But I mean, I think that some of them can show affection. I think some of them are in blue tongue skinks are also familial. They have live birth. The females will defend the young. So, I mean, they do have some kind of bonding ability. Same thing with tokays. So I assume that those animals would be able to form some kind of a affectionate bond with their keeper and accept the keeper into their familial group. I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, you could call it affection, sure.
Yeah.
And then monitor lizards they're just intelligent. I'm sure once they learn that you're the divine, benevolent food monkey and you're not going to harm them, they're like, the warm, squishy thing that gives me food. Yes, come here. You know, I think monitor lizards are more like cats. It's emotional manipulation.
100%. Yeah. That's a great comparison. Yeah. It's one thing I'm still trying. This Kimberly Rock monitor is certainly giving me a run for my money at the minute. Like, he's getting a little bit better, so won't freak out when I come in the room. But then the second I try and tongue feed, that's it, gone. See you later. I'm like, I am the food giver. I bring you food. I'm not going to hurt you. And he's just like, he's just under his cork like that.
Dude, Mushu, I've had Mushu for over a year. Mushu does the same thing.
Yeah.
Mushu like hangs out around the cork and side eyes you and judges you. And then, you go to feed him and he's fine. But as soon as I go to like get my hand anywhere near him, no hides.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, jerk face.
My lizards love me. I bring food.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. That's love for lizards.
Special Eddie loves us. Who's Special Eddie?
That's our special needs boa from our litter last year that had the deformed head, kind of looks like a chihuahua.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I had to assist feed him for like the first month and a half. And then he started eating on his own. He would only eat live for the longest time. And now he's on frozen thawed now. And now he's gotten to the point where he'll eat anything in front of him. The only problem is his face is short and his jaw is slightly deformed. So I can't actually feed him appropriately sized food for a 1-year-old boa. I have to feed him something smaller.
Yeah.
Because his jaw doesn't quite snake jaw correctly. And
oh, bless him.
But he's doing fine, shedding, growing, pooping, snake stuff.
Special Eddie, that's great. We need to see more of Special Eddie.
Yeah, I can get Kayla to bring Special Eddie in here. I'm sure she's fine.
I don't think Turtle has enough brain cells to have many opinions. Turtle's great. Even the reel you uploaded earlier on of him, it's just like the way he just plops out of the glass. Those eyes pointing out. I'm just like, how is this a thing that survives in the wild? But yeah, I don't know.
Dude, crested geckos, you put them in too big an enclosure, they can't find their own food. How do they find food in the jungle?
I don't know. For the life of me, I have no idea.
They're dumb.
They are. Well, you know what they say about breeding reptiles: better of you later than never. Oh God,
Nice.
It's good. I can't take it away from you. It's good, but I didn't want it to be.
There you go.
There he is. Hang on. Can I put you in full screen? It has been a while since I've done this, mate. Is that? So there we go.
You see how kind of short, stubby his face is?
Let me get rid of that.
The camera's backwards, messing me up. You see how his jaw is not aligned quite right?
Yeah.
Compared to a normal.
Oh, there you go. And this is what their head's supposed to look like. Oh, Rice is super wiggly. That's what their head's.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's now that you've put side by side, you can definitely see the difference. Yeah. Oh, they are beautiful.
Yeah, this is our baby male Moonglow. He's a year old as well.
Beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am, for your assistance.
Yes, thank you, Kayla. Appreciate that.
But yeah, you can see how his head is like. It looks like a chihuahua head. It's kind of that short, it's rounded on the top. His eyes kind of bug out a little bit.
Yeah.
So again, like I don't know what to do with him. We're gonna keep him obviously, and we're not, but the only thing I could think was if somebody had an animal outreach program or something where they went to schools, he's never ever once even tried to bite. He's actually really friendly. He'd probably make a really good educational animal. The problem is I don't know if the head deformity comes with any internal organ deformities. I don't know how long he's going to live. He may not make it to 3. I don't know. So it wouldn't be right to just give him to somebody or even sell him as pet quality only. How long we don't mind. He's living his best life.
I'm curious if different species of monitor show love in different ways, especially curious in some of Dan's species. Yeah, Dan's variations in monitor species is simply incredible, to be fair. It's a tough one. I think there's a lot more to it, certainly, than we can get into in one Q&A session or podcast. But yeah, I would be curious, actually. I would be curious. Damn, I got pressure now. Yeah, you do, but you need to thrive under that pressure. Let's get it. Won't be entirely reptile centered, but will be main focus probably. That's fine.
That's cool, man.
To be fair, my content is potentially shifting into more than just reptiles anyway. So, I mean, to be fair, I already do the pond and fish stuff. So, and now I've got spiders and all that. So, yeah. Dude,
the koi pond makes me so jealous, bro. I want a koi pond.
It makes me jealous because it's not even my koi pond.
That's true. It's your dad's. Yeah.
Hopefully, if and when we move anytime soon, I would like to build a pond in the garden. He's just got I need to do a new video actually because he's just recently got some new koi as well. some new little baby Japanese koi, and they are stunning. Like as well as the one that I bought him for his birthday, he got some new ones, and they're glorious. My monitors love to lick my fingers and rub all over me. My Aki cuddles more, whereas my mangrove is more playful. That's crazy.
That's cool. Yeah, I believe monitors can show affection. I definitely believe it.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh no, wait! I just missed that one. The true definition of love, not smothering. Yeah. Every morning you wake up is another day that you've been loved, so that's good.
Means I've done well.
Jojo definitely showed emotion and mood. You could tell when he had a preference for a person. I'm not sure about love, but you could see trust, confidence, and preference. Yeah, there you go. I definitely see where you guys are coming from on the reptiles love debate, 100%. Even if I still respectfully think they can, that's fine, absolutely fine. Maybe the best word is a bond between owner and reptile. Yeah,
it's bond is good. My problem with especially in the modern age that we live in, some words just come so charged with additional meaning.
Yeah.
And love is one of those words. And that's why I kind of jokingly prefaced my response with what form of, Greek philosophical eras and blah, blah, blah. I mean, depending on who you talk to, it means different things. And some people will fight you if you're like, well, your dog doesn't actually love you. It just depends, and I think dogs love you. That's not my opinion. But, and so anyway, I get scared using really strong words like love because people take it and run with it. And it gets complicated and messy.
Yeah. They really do square up. They have so much sass. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mangrove. Very
Excuse me. Sorry, I don't want to be that guy. It's only 9:30. But in all fairness to me, I have been up since 6 a.m. looking after the kids. But I think we've got some time left. I'm just apologising for yawning. It's been a long day. Actually, it's been a long 3 to 5 years. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I have a 4-legged terrorist that now wakes me up. I don't get to sleep past 6:30 a.m. ever anymore. So, yeah. And then I was on call this morning. I had to go run and pick up an armadillo. So it's been a good morning.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, I was saying goodnight to Eleanor earlier on. She's just about to have a milk and go to bed, and I was like, right, sweetheart, 7 o'clock tomorrow, earliest. Give us and she just looked at me, just went, nah, you're too young to be arguing, sweetheart. All right, but I still think it's love, but bond is more widely accepted term. People on both sides can agree on. Yeah, that's fair enough. If that's where the mutual ground is.
I personally don't care what you call it. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I think love's great, bond's great. I think it's
sometimes I'll move too quick and Squid starts to puff up or hiss a little, and as soon as I start speaking, he calms down. That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. I think captive bred mangroves have a big food drive. They're just mad for it. Well, yeah, like I say, from what we've seen from the likes of Solly and Squids, yeah. Catty, that's what my monitors do as well. I've got an incredible bond with my peach throat. It's the way they look at you in their body language that shows their feelings towards you.
I love Georgia so much. Might be my favorite peach throat on the internet. I'll be honest.
Stunning animal.
Sassy too, but not in a dangerous sass, not like a square up sass.
You
can tell Georgia knows he's hot shit. Like you can tell.
From what my herpetology professors have told me, we literally don't know. They don't interest publishers. They don't interest publishers enough usually to get studied. That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. I believe you get out what you put in with time. I call it the favorite tree.
Yeah, so like you're their favorite tree. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Nick just got a ball python not that long ago that wasn't very social for a ball python, and it struck a little bit. He got it within about a week where it was just chilling with him. So.
But again, like you said, you get out what you put in.
It helps. Nick kind of looks like a tree.
Yeah. Is he a tall man?
No, I'm just making fun of him because
okay.
I can.
I often describe Larry as my soulmate. When I'm sick, he tries to climb the glass. He cuddled with me a lot when I had COVID. That's so sweet.
Aww.
That's so sweet. Monitors are all different personality-wise, like people. Yeah.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah. Monitor side-eye is a killer.
Yes.
That's definitely a cool insight that they do have the intelligence to recognize certain keepers and trust them. Yeah. Fish Herps, good to see you back, mate. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you.
So is Fish Herps, is that he is into fish and reptiles, or is this some kind of mad science experiment he's trying to combine and make fish?
Yeah, I think he's trying to make an Aki cichlid mutant
that
combination.
Would be dope. I'm on board.
It's like a mermaid, but with an Aki head.
Yes. And, oh my God, could you imagine the carnage? Holy shit.
Psycho.
Put a laser on their head.
That's an every night. I'm assuming this is Turtle. Plops out on me for a little while and goes back. I had to hand feed him for a month when he was a baby. Yeah. Special Eddie. Yeah. Big ups from Aussie. Shout out to you, my friend. I need to get out to Australia. I really need to get out to Australia.
It needs to happen before I die.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Special Eddie. Special Eddie now has new fans.
Yeah.
We need to see more of Special Eddie.
We will do more Special Eddie updates on the
right. My roach colonies know who I am. Can't even get my hisses to hiss half the time. I believe if a roach can recognize you, then it's very possible reptiles can have some degree of connection. That's
See, impressive. I call BS. His hisser colonies came from me, and they didn't hiss at me either. So,
well, that's between you two.
We'll fight about it later.
Yeah. Beautiful lads. Yeah, that's the boas. I reckon most animals do have the capacity to tell between different people. No, that I do. That I definitely agree on. Eddie will live forever. Eddie is immortal and I won't accept otherwise. King Eddie.
My goodness.
Which species?
Oh, he's asking monitors. We were talking about monitor behavior and Dan having the most experience with multiple.
Oh, yeah, of course. I guess just any of them, to be fair.
I know, Nick. I was messing with you.
I for a split second misread this. I thought that said we love Fat Riddler. I was going to say, well, that's rude.
That's rude.
Father Riddler. I was going to say, I've lost all of this weight, and all of a sudden it's like, we love the fat version of you. I'm like, well, thanks. But no, Father Riddler. Yeah, that, you know what? The funny thing is, right, so obviously he gets a lot more praise on my channel than I do. And if you want to know something even funnier than that, he came with me to the big air show this year in the UK. Biggest one in the UK, in actual fact, biggest one in Europe. Okay. So I've got friends in the aviation photography hobby as well. We all met up, blah, blah, blah. By the end of the day, they were like, can we kick you out of the group and bring your dad in? And I'm like, well, you've known me for like 5 years. What are you talking?
I don't care.
I was like, but, and they're like, no, he's better than you, so I think you should leave. And I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It happens when people meet my dad too. They're like, he's way funnier than you. I'm like, I know.
Okay. So, Pilbarensis and Similis. Okay, that's what he was after. Don't tempt me with koi. We are doing quail, sir.
Yeah, we have a friend of ours hatching us out some quail eggs. We bought 32 eggs, only 5 or 10 of them look like they might be fertile. So a little disappointing, but I actually feel better about starting off with 5 or 10 quail than I do 32 quail.
It's a lot of quail.
Seems like a lot of quail to jump in with.
Them and all the trees. Trees are awesome. My Similis and Pilbara are still small, but really enjoying them.
I want Pilbara so bad. They are so expensive here in the U.S. though. I don't know what the price is over there, but they're crazy expensive over here. I mean, $4,800 a lizard. I mean, it's crazy. You can't ever find them.
Well,
I think Pilbara. I like Pilbara more like Kimberleys. Kimberleys are everywhere. I can get a Kimberley for $600.
Yeah, they do seem to be more regular, to be fair. You just need to hope that Mr. Will Exotic finds a female and he can sort it out.
I've messaged him. Oh, yeah. I'm like, hey, bro. Yeah, like, if you make that happen in the next 4 years, hit me up. Like, I might buy your entire clutch off.
It's super dependent on how each person thinks of the word love. I would say in a general way, yes, but who knows? Yeah. Pet perspective, a greater parrot can mourn itself to death. That's love. True. A monitor probably won't. That's crazy.
That's true.
Pickles doesn't usually let me sleep in.
How does an Aki wake you up?
I think because Pickles is in Catty's bedroom, so I think he scratches at the glass. to get out
that's
as soon as
wild.
possible. Yeah.
I mean, I believe it, but that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I've seen videos as well. It's like literally first thing in the morning, he's just there trying to get out and just like,
Oh, that's
trying to
cool.
sleep. I'm trying to sleep. Yeah. I love seeing Amy's videos so much. Beyond jealous of Dan's collection, I have been to Dan's house recently, and the collection just seems to be getting better every time I go round.
Dan's converting me to yellow tree monitors, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I'm mad at Dan or like.
It's funny because Dan's blue trees were the first blue trees I ever saw, and the videos and photos online don't do them justice, which I think is the same for most species. Actually, similar for yellows, because to be fair, with yellows, I was just like, it's just a shit green, and that's what I used to think. I used to think
I did
it's
too.
just like, just by photos and videos, I'd go, well, it's just a green tree monitor that just looks a bit more shit. I saw these things in person, and I went,
don't follow his Instagram page. If you follow his damn Instagram page, he's gonna have you loving fucking yellow tree monitors. Like, you don't have a choice.
And the
he's
other
like,
one,
look at how awesome they are. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah, and the other one that caught me off guard, which again, it's down to photos and videos and then seeing in person, was the Cordensis.
Oh yeah.
And like seeing them online, I'm like, yeah, again, they look nice, but I don't know how special. I saw his ones in person, and I just went, I have to rethink my entire favorite list of because it used to be just green, blue, yellow, black. That's it. I'm not really bothered. Now I'm like, a Cordo's in second.
No, I've decided I have to be like that Parker. What's his last name? Parker's Park over here in the U.S. I want the Infinity Stones. I gotta have all of them now. I gotta have everything from greens to the what are they called, the Bohemia.
The golden spotteds. Yeah,
those things are sick, dude.
Yeah.
Was it Canadian Cold-Blooded, I think, released a video the other day of like a close-up of their scales and patterns scrolling down the golden spot, and I was just like, golly, that's a smoke show of a lizard.
That's the thing, and the funny thing is that's another one that over the photos and videos, I mean, I've learnt my lesson now, but I see them and I'm like, yeah, they look nice, but I don't know how nice they'd look in person. And now I'm like, because I've seen these other ones in person, I'm there going, I almost dread to imagine how good they look in person. I'm scared to know how good they look in person, but one day I'll get a Pilbara. Well, again, I don't know if you're in the UK or not, but Dan's on it.
Dan is on it.
All the scientific community needs is the promise of a banger name for their findings. Can you imagine a BBC article called "Does your gecko fucking hate you but likes the food"?
That would get me to watch.
I would watch that. I would
narrate it with David Attenborough. I'm down. Like, let's go. No, with a title like that, you'd actually have to pull Samuel L. Jackson to narrate that.
Yes, yeah, that's even better.
Yeah,
some of us are just jacked up Disney princesses. Animal magnetism comes in all forms. Yeah,
I explained to Riddler the other day that you want to disappear into the woods and be a swamp witch, and that's your goal in life. He approves.
I do approve. I respect it massively, because who needs society?
Yeah.
Not all of my hisses. Shall I bring Deborah? Deborah. That's interesting. Howdy, hello, Baum. Thank you for joining, my friend. Georgia,
man, long time
definitely knows.
Holy smokes.
He's been at a couple of the last premieres, to be fair. Georgia definitely knows he's hot as shit.
But I've missed the premieres because I'm a bad person. So.
Oh, you're a busy person. We've discussed that. We are busy people.
And your premieres are always at like 2:00 in the afternoon, my time, in the middle of a work day, and it's hard for me to always. I caught the last one though.
You did, yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah. The urge to move to Australia. So the funny thing is, we nearly did. I think it was about 2 years ago now. We very nearly did. It's just Em bottled it near the end because she couldn't move that far away from her family. Like, no disrespect to my family. I love my family, but I was packed and ready to go. I've never been to Australia, by the way. I've never been. My missus has. And when the discussion came up, she was like, would you want to go and visit first? I went, I don't care. I just want to go and move to Australia. She was going, you've never been. I went, I've lived in the UK for long enough. Mm-hmm. I know what the UK is like. Get me out and get me to Australia. But it didn't happen in the end, which is a shame.
I want to go to the continent with venomous mammals. Let's go.
Yeah. We also love Fat Riddler. Fat Riddler is dead, and Fat Riddler is never coming back. All right, you have my word. He's just so adorable, mate. He reminds me of my dad a bit, so it's bittersweet. Oh, bless you. Okay, if that's what my dad brings to it, then I'll take it.
Your dad is charming as hell, man. I'll give him.
He is. He's. You know what? He's the sort of guy that's funny without meaning to be funny as well.
Yes, I needed an apple juice refill. I appreciate
apple juice refill. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Scott. There in my bedroom, he scratches non-stop to come out in the morning. There we go. I've had to add a barrier in front of the door on the inside because he used to get his little toes stuck.
Oh no!
All the attention every day when he amputated 2 toes.
Oh no! So now he's like, I got this figured out. I'll amputate 2 more toes, and then she has to spend even more time with me.
Yeah. The Cordensis are amazing. 100% favorite of Dan's trees. They're like icy blue. They are. Call those colors. You can't catch the true colors properly on my iPhone camera. Yeah. Like I say, the difference in person is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous that you have goth ackies. Excellent. I'm assuming. I think that's the similis, isn't it? Goth ackies.
Yeah, similis are goth ackies. Yes.
It makes me furious that I can never show how absolutely stunning and colourful Squid is. He's literally so bright.
Mangroves are really, really pretty monitors.
They are.
They definitely. It does not show up on camera well.
Yeah. Although one thing I will find is with the new vlogging camera that I've got, I have found that the colours of all of the animals does pop a lot better. But obviously, it's a lot easier to just film on your phone and upload to Instagram. So remember to like and follow. Let's go. Everyone, if you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. It's good fun over here, I'd like to think.
I enjoy it. It's a good place.
And like I say, wait until you see what I'm doing with this enclosure because it is ridiculous and might not actually work. So, yeah.
He's not lying.
I am indeed UK based, but maybe moving to Australia. We shall see how plans unfold and how willing I am to not own non-Aussie reptiles. Yeah, that's the only problem.
Oh God.
Yeah, you can only own, and even then, sometimes you can't own them all. Oh wow, who we got?
This is Zoe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what an animal! Wow.
Yeah. That's Zoe.
Hang on. Let me put you in.
Let me move the light a little closer so you can actually see her better. There we go.
Explain how we got Zoe.
So, Zoe is a adult female moonglow. So this is again a 3-gene boa. She's a hi Ted. Ted sniffing her tail. Sorry. She's 3-gene boa, hypo, cow albino, and anery. So that's how you get this cool whitish yellow snake. Anyway, yeah. So she was a pet that somebody had, and they were moving from New York City to Texas. So really cross country in the U.S. Wow. And anyway, they were kind enough to meet us in a parking lot at 1:30 in the morning, and we got little Miss Zoe here.
Excellent.
She's trying to escape.
Oh, she's
a big girl.
Stunning. Yeah,
she's a big girl.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing like a sketchy parking lot deal at 1:30.
Yeah, I realized. I don't know how it is over there, Andrew, but over here, I've realized that the reptile hobby and drug deals have a lot in common. Yeah, I met a woman in a parking lot at 10:30 in the morning. Handed her a brown paper bag. She handed me cash. I looked to my right. There's a police officer. And I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "Can I get the bag back?" She was like, "Why?" I was like, "That cop staring at us suspiciously." And I reached in the bag and pulled out the gecko, and he went.
Oh my God! Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. It was so funny. It was like, that looks like I just handed her a large bag of drugs.
Yeah.
That's probably not.
I think the worst one I've ever done was similar. I've met someone, but it was back years and years ago when I had a marine fish tank, but I was shutting it down because I was moving and I was meeting someone to hand them a bag full of a torch coral. So, yeah, that was quite funny. It does always look weird. Actually, one of the other weird ones I've had before is, what was it? A friend of mine was on the bus with a bag full of apple snails that he wanted to sell to the fish shop that I worked at. So I met him at the bus stop. So he literally he rang the bell for the bus to pull over, handed me a bag of snails, and got back on the bus. So no one actually got off. It was just an exchange of living snails. And I just thought that driver must be pissed. He's just made him pull over for that. But yeah, it can be a weird one.
Apple snails, man, they're so illegal here. They're invasive here. I really wish they weren't, because I could literally go down to my local park and just get some of the eggs. They would make such a good like supplemental food for the monitor lizards, as as the baby apple snails would. And man, you can get caught with those in your possession around here. You get in a lot of trouble.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they get real mad about it. Yeah.
Because my question was going to be, well, can't you just? But okay, fair enough.
Well, see, with my luck, it'd get caught on an Instagram video, and somebody would send it to a game warden, and then
Yeah, so that was one thing for me. Sorry, just going back to this point. That was one thing for me, because that's one thing that Em said to me. She was like, "You can't keep Ragnar. You can't keep Royals. You can't. You're not allowed to. Like you." And she was like, "I don't know what you can keep." And I said, "I do know. I can. In most states, I can keep the animals that are in those states. So it's a lot more difficult." And blah blah blah. I said, "But to escape the UK, I'm willing to do so, and it means I can just make more videos on herping." And she was like, "Have you really thought of this already?" And I was like, "Yes, I have." But yeah, it just wasn't to be. Nature Vault, have we actually figured out who you are? Do we know you? And you're just on a different name on here? Because
we do not know them.
I've always wondered, because you're here very often, but I've just never asked whether we know you or not. Thank you. I appreciate your support. You're always here, but I just wasn't sure if we knew you. Too much shit to kill me in Australia. I like to cuddle animals while intoxicated. Dangerous. Yeah, Australia's not the place for that. It didn't happen so you could meet Pete. Good shout. Pete the Komodo dragon is well worth sticking in the UK for, I think.
I want to meet a Komodo dragon.
Oh, mate, we were literally behind the glass. I was this far away from a Komodo dragon, and it was incredible.
Why are you bringing in an Aki?
Do you want one?
Apparently, I'm being handed Paul. Hi, buddy.
I like this. This is turning into a handling education session or entertainment session.
He's not bad about being handled anymore. He used to bite, but
he looks like he's eating something.
Yes, Caleb bribed him out of his hidey hole with a roach. He's got a roach in his mouth.
Okay.
See? And now he's just kind of giving up.
Yeah. Oh, he's a pretty beautiful boy, isn't he? Yeah,
he's in shed, but you can see his colors.
Lovely
nice boy.
Yeah.
Apparently, Kayla's trying to hint that we're boring. She needs to bring animals in to keep us
Well,
she said he was out.
To be fair, she'll be glad to know that it is nearly my bedtime, so that's good.
It is your bedtime.
It's past my. You know what? I'll be honest. I've been asleep before this time for the last 2 nights in a row, and it's not even 10 o'clock. But
go ahead. Nope.
I was going to say, so all 6 colors of the tree monitor is amazing, but I think my favorite are the Cordensis. One is on my bucket list for the future for sure. They are nice. I'm hoping when drunk that the sober experience with Venomous will kick in and stop me from touching. Sober experience with Venomous? Are you talking a bad experience or just your experience with them in general? Curious. It felt like he won in the end. Luckily, he's healed beautifully and he let me give him his meds so easily. That's good. I might have to sell a kidney, but one day I will own a tree monitor. Amy, if I ever get to the point, or when I get to the point on YouTube that I am rich and famous with disposable YouTube income, I will buy you a Cordensis. How does that sound?
Amy, if we ever get any and breed them, you know you got one coming from us. So, I mean, that's one of our goals down the road, but we're just not there yet. It takes a lot of prep and a lot of that's a huge financial investment to get a pair. That kidney tree monitor. Yeah, exactly.
Mate, how's an Aki better at taking meds than my parents' Chihuahua? Because Chihuahuas hate everything, everyone, every time, every place, they are just...
They're not dogs. They're warlock familiars. They're evil.
They're just balls of hatred. They really are.
Yeah, they exist to shiver and bite people. That's it.
Yeah. I'm anxious to know, has anyone ever had nightmares about their reptiles? I've had multiple ones about Lieutenant Pancake's tail falling off somehow. I will gladly like and sub to, mate. Appreciate you. Thank you. I must admit, I haven't had nightmares of my reptiles that I'm aware of.
I've had nightmares of escapes, and I've had nightmares of, like, I had some nightmare about JoJo, something bad happening. I can't remember what it was.
I think I've had reptiles in my dreams before and things like that, but I don't think I've woken up going, "Oh my god, what's happened?" But then, to be fair, I think that says a lot for your feelings towards your leopard gecko, which is quite nice.
Kayla said she had a nightmare that JoJo got out and ate the puppy.
Oh, that would be one hell of a nightmare. That would be
awful.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to explain that one.
No.
Chicken was a bit of a secret weapon for medicine time, but he also let me clean and sort his foot every couple of hours.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
a good boy. Yeah.
With fish, I usually find it easy to get a video rather than a picture. As in to showcase their colors and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because fish never hold still for me for pictures. I get so jealous of these people with these high speed, the exposure camera. They can take all these million pictures in 1 second, and they get these stunning photos of their fish in their aquarium, and I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah.
It never worked out for me.
Please send Zoe to me immediately.
Cold-blooded Crips is where her future boyfriend is coming from. So he will be,
is that the pairing? Is it? That's cool.
Yeah, Sid's coming from Scott, cold-blooded.
Cool.
Yeah.
The reptile ownership laws vary for each Aussie state or territory. Yeah, like you can own both salties and freshwater crocs in the Northern Territory, but definitely can't own salties in any of those. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. It's not even just one rule for Australia. It's literally each state has different ones. I did know someone who I'm pretty sure was moving from one Australian state to the other, and I think it was I can't remember what he had, but basically it wasn't allowed in the other state, even though it wasn't technically that far. Like, I don't think the borders were that far, but because of the state difference, he wasn't allowed to take that species with him, which is a shame.
I find it weird even that Australia doesn't have exceptions for, if you can prove it's F6, they're still like, no, screw you. I find that so weird.
No, I think they've been burnt so much with invasive species that they're just going, no, absolutely not.
I love their laws on cats. I wish America would $25 per cat. Hell yeah, let's go.
Damn, misclick went to say, can't remember laws and freshwater crocs. Fair enough. I picked up squid outside a train station after traveling for like 6 hours on the train. Yeah. Again, these shady deals. It's so funny.
Well, Paul's just a shady looking dude.
Well, are you up north?
He's not here to defend himself.
In North Wales for uni, but when not at uni, live in Glasgow. Okay, and originally from northeast of England. Okay, so you're up there. Okay, sound. Man, serving up roaches in parking lots as race and browse. Because the thing is, the funny thing with doing it with roaches is that if you were to pull out a gecko and a lizard, they'd be a bit sort of, okay, it's a bit weird, but fine. But imagine pulling out a bag of cockroaches.
Yeah.
I think probably some police officers would go, I wish it was drugs. What are you doing? I wish that would... That's funny. I'm all over, basically. Yeah, it sounds like it. Handed a co-worker with another leopard gecko some sphagnum moss in a plastic baggie. Had to write moss, not weed, on the side of it in the shop.
Yeah.
But I like that because that almost looks more suspicious. Like,
that looks extra suspicious.
This is not drugs. I promise it's not drugs. Something's telling me it's drugs.
I'll hand Riddler a little baggie full of talcum powder and write not cocaine and just...
Some calcium powder.
There you go. Calcium powder, not
this
cocaine.
This is Earth Pro A, I promise.
Yeah.
Hello, Northeast.
I've got some of that in the other room.
Northeast is the best part of the UK. I'm Southwest, so we couldn't be any more opposite if we tried. And I also disagree with you. Southwest, shout out. Except the infrastructure. We're not going to talk about small baggies and water crystals that get shipped to you as a throw-in on your package.
Oh, yeah. The water crystals show up in these little, drug baggie size baggie, and they're not rehydrated. It looks like meth crystals.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like the first time I opened a box that came with the little I didn't know it was coming with the water crystals, and I was like, "What the hell is in this box?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
A little gift, a little
Yeah.
extra something.
Yeah.
Don't wish the summer away. Second that. We're done pretty much. We Northerners do not like the heat in British houses. It's too hot. My bedroom is heated by all the Vivs monitor at the minute until I move. Sid and Zoe.
When is England going to discover central air conditioning?
But the thing is, it's not necessary. Well, to be honest, this year, fine. This year would be a year for air conditioning because we had more than 3 days of heat. Usually, our summer lasts tops 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But this year's been a hot one, to be completely fair.
Our summer's been brutal. Yeah.
Really?
It's been rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had, well, we're Fahrenheit, and I don't do those conversions in my head. So we have multiple days in a row of 114 degree heat indexes, which is
114
Fahrenheit. Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's over 40 degrees Celsius, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the real feel. The actual temperature was like 96, but it said,
Right.
like 100. It was brutal, man. Like you walk outside for 3 minutes, you're just drenched in sweat.
It's 45 degrees Celsius. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's vile. Okay. Yeah. Send the northeasterners of the UK into that and they would melt into a puddle within seconds.
I'm sorry to interrupt this show for another broadcast, but Kayla, you need to come get the puppy. She's you woke her up.
Oh,
She needs to
no.
go outside.
Yeah, I've had experience in general. That's cool. That is really cool. F that kidney treatment. Oh, look at the puppy. Oh, my goodness. Let's go solo to see the puppy. Oh, look at the ears. Oh, my goodness, sweetheart. You need to grow into those ears.
I hope she never grows into
Come
the
here,
ears.
Lolo. Hey, baby.
Oh,
Go,
Lord.
mama. You need to go pee, baby. All right.
So cute.
Yeah.
No.
She looks like Dobby.
Yeah. Right. I've had a nightmare about mine escaping. There you go. I've had Pilbara escape for 8 weeks. Yeah, that was crazy.
One of my baby boas got out of its bin the other day, and I didn't realize it until I went to go, and I went, "Oh no, where are you?" And luckily, he just climbed up to the top of the shelf and was sitting on in between two of the lids that I had stacked up there. And I was
Ideal.
like, oh goodness.
Chihuahuas literally have an incomplete grown skull. They are a crime against nature.
Now, is that the apples ones or the deer head ones? Because there's two different varieties of Chihuahua. Which I guess that's the apple one.
Crime
Applehead
against
Chihuahua.
nature. That's crazy. Reptiles know tarantulas have checked tanks upon waking. Fair. Sorry, my aviation brain kicked in again. I thought I heard a helicopter, and I did. Caught in the man cave, came out when it was hungry, I guess. He's found that. I think.
Who was it in the Discord whose animal got in the wall in their garage? It was a young mangrove he'd bought, and it got loose and got in the wall of his garage. He had to cut the wall of the garage apart to get the mangrove out.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Ugh,
I'm not sure, to be fair.
It's been a minute.
It's been amazing. This was a pleasure. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Thank
Later,
you
Scott.
very much.
He built his daughter a very nice bench today. It was very lovely. He sent pictures.
A nice bench.
Bench, yes. So go around in her dining room or her kitchen nook. So it was a two-sided bench. So the table then slides in. So
is he a carpenter? Is he, or just a hand? Just
a handy dude. Yep.
I met someone for roaches at McDonald's the other day.
Probably just can get those from McDonald's.
That's true. Paul pulled out the box and took the top layer off so I could coo at him, and Squid was fuming.
I bet.
Oh, there you go. Nature Ball said the same. There you go. Mate, could have just caught them out the back of Macca's. No, I picked up. Oh, someone's not happy.
Uh-oh. Potatoes.
See, the funny thing about this year has been so bad for the heat. Or you can say this year has been so good for the heat. I've loved it. Yeah, same.
I hate the heat. I'm ready for hoodies.
Not the heat. No, I'm very much a. Well, again, the problem is the UK heat is different, and there's no way of escaping it. but I do prefer the warmer weather. He's got aircon. Where do I find the Discord? The Discord. I'll see. I sound like a bit of a fleecer now. So my Discord personally is on my Patreon. So I'll be honest, and I don't want to sell something that isn't amazing. We are in there sometimes. It's not the most amazing Discord in the world. It does have moments of we're all in there, we're not in there. But if you do want to get involved, it is as low as £2 a month if you want to sign up to Discord, but or like the Patreon, but no pressure at all. Because like I say, I'm not going to say, yeah, join, sign up, it's worth it. Sometimes it's quite quiet in there. Sometimes we have fun in there and things like that. But I tell you what, whilst I'm on the subject, for anyone that isn't signed up to the Patreon, you do also get early access to videos, to the drops and things like that. You get behind the scenes, you get discounts on merch, don't you, Charles?
You do.
Exactly. And all sorts. But yeah, so if anyone is interested, please consider signing up. It does help me. See, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Welcome, Catty. Thank you. But that's fair. Would if I weren't saving. No, I appreciate that. It's absolutely fine. Like I say, no pressure at all. Yeah, no dramas. But so before we start saying good night, because I am ready for bed, does anyone in the chat have any more questions? Or Charles, do you have any questions?
I'm question free, good sir. Or
anything you wanted to touch on, or any subjects or anything?
No, I think we covered a lot of stuff. My
stuff.
Brain's a little full right now. It's been a good talk.
It has, and 2 hours has just absolutely disappeared. To be fair.
Oh, dude, I've had so much fun. I want to do this again.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I'm hoping to keep these up a little bit more again. Again, my only problem is the reason I stopped doing them is because the software is quite expensive, and when I'm obviously a broke person myself, and I'm only doing one every 4 to 6 weeks, it's almost hard to justify it. But at the same time, if I want to do this, full time, I have to be putting in that money. Like, I have to be doing things like that. But yeah, I appreciate you, my friend.
The cool Riddler sidekick. That's all.
Oh, here we go. We got one more question. What's a dream species for everyone that's completely unreasonable?
What unreasonable? Okay, for me, croc monitor, because it's too big and it's too expensive. So all of the above.
Okay, excellent. Catty said Komodo dragon. That's a good one. Dream species for everyone that's completely unreasonable. Parenti. I'd go Parenti personally.
Well, that's unattainable. That's not unreasonable. See,
is that yeah?
I mean, how in the world would you ever get your hands on one? I mean,
that's true. All right, so unreasonable. We're looking at unreasonable because it's not doable as opposed to.
I guess that's how I took it.
Okay, all right. Okay, if that's the case, you've caught me now. I don't know. What's a decent? I don't know. You've caught me. I had Parenti in my head, and that's it. It's gone now.
Does anybody keep alligator snapping turtles on y'all's over there?
I know there's snapping turtles. I know there's snappers. I'm not sure if we've got alligators personally. I think we
alligators get like.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I got to stop this nonsense.
That's all right. Also, definitely glad I caught this one. Got some cheeky self-promoing for something that's still in the works. Apologies for that. Don't apologize. Listen, with me and the sort of content that I do, and that for me, this is a whole community. If you want to come into the community and basically say, by the way, guys, I'm doing this, if anyone's interested, you crack on. Because if I can help anyone with my platform, do you know what I mean? So you self-promo all you want. I'm really not upset with that. You crack on, my friend. And I wish you the best of luck. And I will encourage you to chase your dreams. Good comeback, Riddler. Great guest. Good chat. Love to hear it. Excellent. Enjoyed it, honestly. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you tuning in, and you've been great in the chat as well. So thank you. Personally, it had to be a croc of some kind. Where it not
I think that's easier than a croc monitor, and here's why. Croc monitors are arboreal, so you basically have to build the damn thing in aviary.
Yeah.
A croc you can get away with just a 10-foot fence.
Yeah.
So like I dig a hole for the pond and put a 10-foot fence around it. But man, that croc monitor, that 10-foot croc monitor, I mean, it's got to be 360 contain. I think that's a lot more difficult to pull off.
Yeah. We can keep both snapper species without a license. Okay, excellent.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if they were over there or not. They're just thinking of unreasonable things that I could bully Riddler into buying.
I would love a Komodo, obviously impossible, but I would give them little kisses 100%. But the thing is, Catty, with the way you've raised your lizards, I can believe that.
Yeah.
I could see Catty raising a Komodo dragon and just being in there going, like when it's a fully grown adult, just cuddling this massive Komodo. I could see that happening. But
dude, but the Komodos I've seen that are in zoos and herpetological places where they've socialized them like you and I would a Asian water or a mangrove or an Aki. I mean, dude, they're chill.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just as big a puppy dog as a well-socialized Tegu or Asian water. It's kind of crazy when you think about how feared they are in the wild.
Yeah. Next of all, my pick would be a black dragon or a Bell's phase. So, a Bell's phase, the reason I didn't say a Bell's phase lace is because that's something, I guess you could call it unreasonable, but at the same time, that is on my list. It's not happening in here because the size enclosure for a lace of any type is massive and there's no room. But in the future, I want a Bell's phase lace monitor.
Yes, if we get property and we can actually build a barn and then run basically like how they do paddocks for horses off the barn, we want to do that for monitors.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the monitor species I'd want to work with that's large. And down here where we are, they can almost stay outside year round because they range all the way down into southern Australia where it gets cool.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know that I've heard that they're fine outside down to like 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty cold.
Crocs need brick greenhouse if you're in the UK. Okay. So
I guess that's true. Yeah. I didn't think about geographically. Yeah, you're right.
Like and follow, but also don't only like and follow me. Like and follow Serenity Dragons as well. We will get to your socials very shortly. Charlie got a nibble from a lace. Did you really?
Yeah, I've got a nice little. I can't turn my wrist that way on the camera, but I got a nice little scar right there. Yeah.
Oh, how did you do that?
Being dumb. So we were at Brian Waterloo's for Monitor Fest, and he has these big giant walk-in enclosures, right? And I asked him, I was like, hey, which one of your laces is the chillest? I really want to kind of go in and interact with one. And he was like, that male over there should be fine. And I'm like, cool. So I go in this enclosure. He's acting a little ampy, a little food, lots of rapid tongue flicks, a lot of interest sniffing the hoodie I was wearing because it was Chicago, Illinois.
You were wearing a hoodie, okay.
I was wearing actually a Reptichat hoodie.
Nice.
Yeah. And I looked away for a brief second and I looked back and he was really sniffing my wrist. And I was like, oh, should I move my, and I moved too late. And he just casually grabbed me. I had a nice deep laceration on this side of my arm and some very minor ones over here. Actually, it's just light scarring. It's shredded. If you got one of the Reptichat hoodies or the thick, you can see the light.
Oh yeah.
There. And then I don't know if I can turn my arm around. And then that's where the teeth got me to wear it. Right, but it shredded the double stitched seam around the wrist of the Reptichat hoodie. Like it completely cut it apart. If it wasn't for that would have been an ER visit.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Anyway, that was just I'd had too many beers to try to play with a 5.5-foot lace monitor, and it was dumb. Don't do that.
Monitor was hungry, and Charlie was 4 beers.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a bad call. I didn't even feel it, man. I had no idea I'd been bitten. The teeth was so sharp, I didn't feel it.
Famous last words with anything, yeah.
Yes, this animal should be fine. Yeah.
Reptichat saved us from an ER visit. Good quality. I would shout him out, but he hasn't been in here at all tonight, so he can go fuck it. No, I'm joking.
Fuck you, Ben.
Right, excellent. Right, so then, ladies and gentlemen, I need to go to bed. I am a big tired man. Okay. Charles, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
You too, Andrew.
It's been great. Obviously, first one back after a little while, and I knew it was going to be a good one anyway. To be fair, I mean, our voice notes are 5-10 minutes at a time anyway, so this was always going to go well.
We do like to talk a lot.
Yeah, but thank you for everyone that has watched as well. Before you go, would you like to tell everyone what social media platforms you're on?
Yeah, the two we're most active on. You can find us Serenity Dragons. Same logo as what you see on the YouTube there. On Facebook, and then on Instagram, it's Serenity_Dragons because someone took the other one. And then we do have a YouTube that's Serenity Dragons. We used to post on there shorts and stuff, but we haven't touched it in months.
You need to start posting on there again.
I
and
know.
some long form as well. You need to start doing some long form.
I know. I just gotta quit being a little bitch about it. I gotta excise this bitch from my heart and just do it.
That's it. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. So thank you.
You too, brother.
And like I say, for everyone,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, pleasure, an absolute pleasure. And for everyone who's been here the whole time, or some of the time, or whatever, supporting the whole way, thank you, appreciate you. And hopefully we will see you in another stream at some point in the not too distant future.
And go follow all these goofballs in the chat too. They're all great
100%.
people.
Yeah, everyone go and follow everyone. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
There you go. Catty's asking for more special Eddie, please.
I will get you videos in a little while.
Anyway, ladies and gents, lots of love. Peace out.